Hello? Hello, hello? Hello, everybody? Hey, everybody! Is everyone here? Can everyone hear me? Do I sound good? Hello! Hello! As is always to be expected, the day I plan on streaming, there's landscapers outside, like, blasting a leaf blower. Hopefully you can't hear it. They came by my place before, so they'll probably just be in the distance and hopefully get quieter. Hopefully that's not a problem. It'll be fine. We'll handle it. It'll be fine. So, hello! Hey! Is everyone excited? I'm super excited. Oh my god, it's finally happening. It is happening today. Yeah. Hi. So, alright. We're just gonna dive in, because I expect this will take us a while. We're just gonna go in order of the video, you know? So, I'll stop at a specific point. I know which point I plan on stopping at. It's about the halfway point, so. So we're gonna go into this, and I wanted to say something, like, before we get into it. I did want to say that I am going to critique your animations, your submissions, but I'm not trying to be mean. That is something that is important. Critique and criticism in general can be hard to hear for some people. And I totally understand that. I went to art classes and film classes, and in both of those classes at university, harsh critique is kind of a big deal. It's a big part of it. And it's never fun to hear criticism, but it is very good to learn, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not gonna be mean, but I am gonna mean what I say, you know? Like, if I'm gonna say something, there's gonna be a reason for it, and it's gonna be important. And I am gonna be an element of forgiving. You know, critiquing fan works is a lot different than critiquing a professionally made product, after all, you know? But, just putting that out there, off the bat, that's how we're gonna go into this, and I'm gonna just come in here with the mindset of helping to teach. So, we got lots to do. I'm super excited. We'll just go in order of what I have in my video, which is kind of alphabetical, but also kind of not. So let's dive in. And if the audio is too loud or too quiet, let me know, and I can adjust it accordingly. So let's get into it. All of your submissions. Alright, first let's look at their, because my favorite part was seeing everyone's, like, character profile picture, because that was what I was the most excited to see. I liked seeing how people came about it with different, like, you were all so creative, and even the ones that are, like, this one has been more simplistic, even, like, little things, little details, like your word choice and stuff like that, and just seeing the character. I'm so excited. So, first up, coming from Azkinn, they give us Vanilla, and it's not from a franchise that is currently existing, it's from their own story, but the audio comes from Genshin Impact. I don't know anything from Genshin Impact, so any audio is going to be completely unique to me, so, so here we go. Let's check them out.
What a beautiful way to see the world.
Such nice fluid animation. Faces, especially with all this stuff in their hair. Hair details, and like these are wings with feathers and stuff. Animation, little details like hair is often hard. That's why, like, when you watch like anime, like 2D anime, lots of times their faces won't move too much. It'll just be their lip flaps moving, because drawing all the different layers of their hair can be very tedious. And this is very expressive for how much detail is in their face. It's also a lot of detail with the facial expression just in general, you know? Which is, like, it sells the point of the audio very well. A little louder? I can do that. Bam. We'll go back a little bit. Which one was it? This button? Nope. Here we go. We'll go back a little bit. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go.
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself.
So good. So much fun. Oh my god. Like, so much character, which was, like, from just this, it was a great line to pick, and with their, like, the hand motion, the way their body moves, you really get a good sense of this personality for this character. So much fun. Great start. Great way to start. Love it. Love it so much.
Guilty.
Yeah, and you see like their
Then
wings
out of
and stuff
respect
flowing
for
a little
you,
bit. Oh,
I shall redefine myself.
10 out of 10. So much fun. So much fun. Let's keep going. Dip. It's Erik. Erik didn't use the template I gave, probably, like, and I'm fine with that. Some people didn't use the templates that I gave. I like dude as your pronouns, dude/male. I like how you have a / for this one and a / for the other one. Let's go. Oh, some people have watermarks like this. Like, you have flip a clip here. Most people have flip a clip as their watermarks. I am never bothered with watermarks. So, I know it bothers some people, but I also understand, like, in order to get rid of the watermark, you have to, like, pay for this service or whatever, and I understand, like, you don't always want to do that. I think the cheapest options is often some of the best options, and if it comes free, just with a watermark, hell yeah, go ham. Yeah. And the music isn't copyright. Okay, alright, okay. This, just alone, what a good set to, like, display this, like, with, regardless of what he's gonna end up saying in the scene, this displays the character so well. Speakers, like, stapled right next to the bed, all these, like, mismatched pillows and stuff, a little bit of a dilapidated room we got going on here, a violin and the guitar. The Dreamcatcher is a really pretty touch. 10 out of 10. Like, just this alone. And then his happy little smile. This displays the look, like, the feel of this character so good. Like, right off the bat. Most people didn't do a room. Like, they didn't make a background or an environment. So, it's a fun little because the setting your character is in also tells you about the character. So, like, that's a detail. Not everyone, like, it wasn't something I asked of you, but the fact that you did go the extra mile, lots of fun. Because, yeah, sets up the character just as good. If I have any critique, I would say he plays guitar a little too long. like, for a while I thought it was just him playing guitar when I was first watching the video. And I was like, oh, okay, I get it. And then he got to it. It was like, just it's 10 too long on the guitar. But that's just for, like, pacing issues. Because I gave you a time frame. It was like 1 minute. And so I didn't want you using it all on just playing the guitar. But it was great hand animation on the guitar. I don't know how accurate it is. I can't play the guitar. So I don't know. Notice the ruby colored pillows? Oh, they are! Oh, that's cute.
This is the Burger Shack. We fry them, we grill them, we burn them alive.
I love everything he says. This is one of my favorite characters. Like, personality-wise. So much just personality. He just oozes it. He's a fun person that I would love to see, like, in the show proper. You know?
What would you like to eat today?
Really, Raul? You know what? Never mind. Have you seen Oscar?
I also like the extra detail that you gave the distortion on the person's voice on the phone. This is a nice touch. It was something I don't usually think about, and it's something a lot of people don't think about until you're in the scenario where you're making the actual animation, where you're making the scene, and you're like, oh, it would sound different. I love that. Extra levels. Extra levels of thinking. Weapon is a chainsaw? Dope. He looks it. with these biceps, he would. Also, I like the you could have just had him, like, sitting here, the entire time. But the fact that he does, like, move
Haven't
his
seen
guitar,
Armoraxis
he
this
stands up, he
morning.
moves a little around
Why
a bit,
you
those
asking,
extra little
Ulysses?
details
Raul,
really just, like, help the whole animation come to life and feel, like, lived in, feel real.
Oscar
All of the
ran away
voices were
from
done
home.
by you. Wow!
What?
Oh, my ears!
Oh, then you
Sorry,
see another
little
guitar
bro.
back here? Wow.
Do you have any idea where Oscar is?
No.
Okay, alright, I do have one extra critique for you. So, they call on the phone and they ask him if he knows where Oscar is. And then he's like, no, what's up? And they're like, he's gone missing. And then he asks them back if they know where Oscar is. That is one thing that is my biggest critique. That exchange would make sense. Because he already knows that he doesn't know where Oscar is. So it wouldn't make sense for Raul to ask that. I know I get what you were doing. I would suggest instead have the line be, do we have any other ideas? Does anyone else might know something? Something like that, rather than just asking, do you know where he is? Because with this exchange, he should already know that he doesn't know where he is. That's just it. It's the minorest critique. Simple, like, easy fix.
Sorry.
10 out of 10.
Okay, I have an idea. We can check on Oscar's bank and his Lien history to know where he is.
Also, checking his bank and his Lien history to see where he's been is actually a very smart idea. It's so refreshing because it's a Ruby character and they don't usually think of things that actually, like, smart. Nice little detail. I did like that.
So we can find him. It won't be easy, but it's gonna be fun.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Love it. So much fun. Fantastic character. Fun little introduction to him. I would love to see the continued adventures. I want to know what happened to Oscar. Where did he go? 10 out of 10. Such fun stuff. Lots of detail. Lots of extra little detail. I love it. So good. And nice little... So many of you had, like, messages afterwards. I wish I could have included the entirety of everyone's videos, but the video was already, like, over an hour long, so it wasn't, like, reasonable for me to do that. But so many of you had, like, extra little, like, thanks for watching stuff, and I love those things. They're so sweet. Oh, yeah. This is the prophecy hidden within, yeah. Alrighty, next up. This one comes from Airon. The character name is Spencer. Spencer Tessin? Yeah, that's an I. I can't read. It's my fault. Again, from an original story. It's called Shadows Before the Eclipse, which is a nice title. Got some real fantasy on you right there. Comes from Arcane. Arcane? No. That's not where this audio comes from. Let's keep going. Let's see what's going on. Oh, sorry, I paused at the wrong time. I wanted to say, I like the little, like, extra splash going on here. Little extra little details. Also, I like the pink eyes. I was thinking of that when I was making the thumbnail. I'm just a sucker for characters with pink eyes.
That was a long time ago. People change.
This audio is from Arcane? That's crazy, because the entire time I thought it was Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Crazy. It shows what I know. I like this a lot. Again, another environment. It's a short one. It's a much shorter one. Again, we got the environment setting here, and scrubbing through this video will be hard. Sorry. So bear with me. This one's simple, but it displays the character very well. I also like the addition of the speech bubble for the line that you couldn't include here. A lot of people wondered how to have the character responding to someone else, and they worried a lot. This is a smart way of doing that without including other audio that you didn't want in there.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. People change. That line alone is really good at just telling us that this character has a history. There's a lot of backstory here, and perhaps related to the scar, but seeing how happy they are, they're in a better place. Not only does their, like, face display that they're in a better place, but this is a very happy, cheery little setting we're in, with the flowers and the blue sky. It's a very nice... I also like how, like, muted the colors are, just in general, with this submission. This is also a full body turned around and faced another direction. That's not easy. I'm always impressed with people's skills with animation. And you got that big shiny eye. Oh, it's a nice real refinement with your animation. It's all very smooth, and I like it a lot. If I had any critique, I would say the environment does look very different from the character, but that isn't important. Not everyone who animates the figures in the scene are also background artists. So it's a bit of a minor nitpick. That's also where collaborating comes in from, and people can do your backgrounds for you and stuff. But yeah, I like it. Another fantastic one. 10 out of 10. I'm gonna say that for everyone. I like everyone's submissions. So here's Nep. We got Nep with Leirurus. I believe it's pronounced Leirurus. Leirurus. Again, it's me. I can't pronounce anything. So if I'm wrong, correct me. Dimension Hopper, your own comic. Apparently, okay, so they got this thing over here. It says, get rid of the tail because it was too detailed, which I understand, which is an important part of the refinement process. If you got a character and you're like, oh man, one part is just too much to include, then yeah, chop that off, change it, figure it out. I think it's called the draw them 100 times rule, where if you have a character, like especially if you're doing like a comic or something, you design your character and you think they're great, and then you sit down and then draw them 100 more times. For example, with my witch figure that I have here talking to you with, when I designed it, I designed this look for just this. I've drawn this multiple times since, and I would definitely expedite a lot of the extra details. And so knowing to expedite, like getting rid of the tail because it was too detailed, is a good way of showing your progression and your growth with character design. 10 out of 10. The audio's from Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I think I know which one that is. That's the anime with the little ghost boy who, like, haunts the bathroom, right? I never watched it. So the audio is completely new to me. Let's get going. Let's go, Nep. So much to say right off the bat. So let's go back. Hold on 1 second. Right off the bat, the lineless art, especially like here, there's the art that doesn't have like lines, like line art around it. That's hard. That's not easy. It's not easy to display the depth, and because if you do lineless art, it means you need to do a lot of details and shading and shine. And this water, look at the water. There's so much detail here. It's crazy. You went so hard with this. The eye shine. This one has just like a lot of detail. Also, like this clouds. It's just really dang pretty. I probably shouldn't have paused. I wanted to say more. Like, just, yeah, the lineless art. I will say, because of the lineless art style, this area with their face color and their hair color is very similar to each other. I would suggest just like little lines of shade to include in their hair, but that also feels like really nitpicky because there's so much detail in all of it. Like, look at this stuff, guys. Oh my god, it's crazy. There's so much detail. Like, especially, like, they have all that hair, and there's so much movement, so much fluidity to it. Like, it's hard for me to critique this. You got this amazing sense of scale, of speed, of fluidity. Oh my god. So much. And what a great way to like display their personality. A lot of people asked for like to do music related stuff. Oh my god. like that little, like the little, like when they zoom in and they punch the camera. This that's all personality right there. That's so good at telling me who this character is. It's really, like, what do I say? Do I need to turn down the volume? I turned it up way high. Maybe. Alrighty. So yeah. Does that sound better? Is that better audio quality? Nice. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I guess I would say you go through a lot of different styles throughout this animation. Like, you go from lineless to having lines to no color to, like, basically silhouettes at a point, which I think is, like, I think it's fine. It's not bad. It's just, like, that might be intentional with the style you're going with, So, if it is the style you're going with, because having, like, a very, like, extravagant style that changes around a lot is a thing some people go for. Some people don't like that. Like, when I say some people, I mean, like, businesses. So if you're going into, like, a business setting, I would say keeping it to one style would be preferable. But also, like, if, like, it doesn't matter because I think it looks amazing. The style switch gives it a very otherworldly feeling, which helps because it's meant to be, like a demon, I'm pretty sure. Some sort of otherworldly creature, entity, person. So yeah, it works really well, especially with the character. Just, like, trying to find anything to say about this. That isn't just constant praise. And you did so much, too. You did so much stuff with it. Like, you filled up a good chunk of time with that. 10 out of 10. So much fun. I loved it. Can not get over it. Let's keep going. Yeah, Akina. Alright, Akina. With Mavon, I'm not gonna pretend to know how to pronounce this one. A lot of fantasy names I struggle with. Man, fun fact, I used to read Aragon, those books. Do you remember that? I could not tell you a single character's names because I could not actually pronounce them. So I know them by, like, the first letter. So Project Realms, which is inspired by Kingdom Hearts, which I can tell. They look like Kingdom Hearts characters, which isn't a bad thing. Kingdom Hearts has very good characters. Nana, I believe, I found the audio on TikTok. I don't know what that is, but I find lots of great audio on TikTok. I downloaded TikTok solely for the purpose of finding new audios to use. So it's a great resource to find things like this. So, this did confuse me a little bit, because I was unsure which one was Mavon, and I thought maybe they're all Mavon, but at different times of their life. But I am unsure. I think both work. If they're not meant to be the same character, I would suggest giving them more defining features that make them look distinct from each other. What that could mean. Like, you do a lot here with, like, making their hair different, which is big, especially because they're supposed to look, if they're not the same character, they're meant to be, like, siblings, I believe. So, you're doing a good job. They do look related and stuff like that. Little things like freckles or scars, things like that, can help distinguish one character from another. Let's go. I also love these shoes. People don't think about shoes when they think of character design. People who, like, pay attention to shoes.
Don't do it again, Astrid. Do what again?
I know this one's a little bit quieter. Turn the volume back up a little.
Attach yourself to anyone who shows you the least bit of attention because you're lonely.
Attach yourself to anyone who shows you the least bit of attention because you're lonely. That audio alone, like, that, again, it tells you so much, not only about this person that they're referring this to, but also the person saying it. Like, that carries weight. And also this, I really love the framing of this. Looking away from each other, and they back turn to us, which implies, if a character's back is turned to you, it kind of implies their back is turned on us, the audience, as well. Makes me think this person might be not a villain, but not exactly aligned with this character, who, since they're facing us, makes me think they are our hero. But this person has the power in this situation. Everything else, because this character's taller, usually taller characters feel like they have the power. This is a great way to do that, blocking. Their back was turned to us. They're not looking at each other, and they turn to look directly at them, you know? And they're still looking away. That shows they're the one with the power in this scenario. And their audio, the dialogue you chose hammers it home because they're talking down to this person, you know? Great stuff. Little things like that. Little blocking details. Because something as simple as two characters sitting next to each other can feel boring. But every moment is an opportunity to do more. And simple things like this. Just two characters sitting next to each other, but think about how do you display the power dynamics of the scene that you're trying to tell. This is a great way to do that. 10 out of 10. And then you see these kids walking past, which only hammers home further the idea of you just attach yourself to everyone who shows you a little bit of attention. I want to see the rest of the story. I don't know what happened before this. I don't know what's going to happen after this. But this little tidbit, which is a great way to use to use something like this situation to help deliver the idea of if this does become a story, now I'm intrigued with it. This is basically it's like a commercial, you know, like a little mini commercial. Yes, Gwendolyn is right. Let's drink some water. Stay hydrated, drink water, do it now. Flashing back to Critter's other animation challenges, there's a lot of them. I want to do more. It's a lot of fun. I love seeing what you guys all come up with, because you're all so creative. Alrighty. Yeah. Had a month to work on this due to life stuff. It was something that I do appreciate that you explained this, because not everyone, just because I set the challenge at a certain time, not everyone had the same amount of time to work on it because of life stuff and things like that. So, understandable. I know you wanted to do a lot more, but, you know, the fact that you got something done in general is very impressive to me, and I like it a lot. So, this is Adrian, from Fairy Tale, which I haven't seen. I've seen like it. I know what it looks like. I haven't watched it, so I don't understand like the context of design choices around the character, if it makes sense within the world or not. The audio comes from Beyblade Metal Fury and Masters, and Masters from Fury episodes 128 and Masters episode 74. So, I used to watch Beyblade a lot. A surprising amount of Beyblade. And it does have this very upbeat vibe, which is good for this character, I feel like.
Hey!
Okay, so this is a great opportunity to talk about animatics, because some people, they got very, like, nervous around the idea of doing animation. Animatics like this is also a great way to display ideas of how to do blocking and stuff, but if you don't want to do full animation with it. Storyboarders, like being a storyboard artist, is also still a big part of the industry, of the animation industry.
What do you want about, Jinga?
And these arrows here is a great way of displaying the emotion. Like, not, like, the emotion of the scene, like how the character would move. And you have all the, like, notes you have throughout your storyboards are really on point. And I just like it a lot. I don't think there's enough appreciation for storyboard art, and you really have a grasp on it.
I'm completely fine, okay, people?
No one says, okay, everyone who says I'm completely fine with tears in their eyes, no, they're not fine. It's very good. You've done a good job. You've done a very interesting thing of having the character presenting themselves as a different emotion than what the audio is implying. So, like, he's clearly not okay, and that's the interesting part, that you chose this to be the audio for your scene, because it does tell me a lot about the character, even though they're presenting us with basically a fake personality, because they're putting on a mask because they're trying to pretend things are okay for them. It tells me that this is a character who might seem goofy and silly, might seem like they don't care, but it's in essence a facade. Not a facade, but basically a mask that they wear, and that there's a darker sadness inside of them. So, cool stuff. Very fascinating decision. I love it a lot.
And you guys shouldn't be so bummed out about this. It's not like you.
And then using the motion of wiping away his tears to open up and try to present himself more. Nice little details. Nice little details.
We just have to take back what was stolen from us. And in order to do that, it's time for training. We don't have time to waste moping around here, so
And then by the end of it, like, I'm sold. I feel like, at this point, that yes, even though I know he was saying everything's fine, even though he was crying, now he's gotten to the point that he has completely redonned his mask, and I believe him now. I do think he's fine. Whether he's actually gotten emotionally to a point throughout this little mini pep talk he's given himself, or if he's just gotten very good at hiding it, fantastic. Both. It could be both at the same time. Shout out to your eraser scribbles over here. the eraser bits from erasing stuff away. Have you heard of gray erasers? They're like this little putty type deal. You can find them in Micheal's. They are a type of eraser that doesn't leave these little bits behind. So if these annoy you, you can look into that. I highly recommend it, but they don't last very long. So
let's go. I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah. But first, something to eat. I'm starving.
Like all good anime heroes, they gotta eat. Yeah, and a part 2.
I know I lost. In all my hard work trying to become #1, I was almost crushed by you in that match. But I've got news, pal.
I love the like zigzag pattern of his motion up. It's a great job of displaying like the movement of it. It's a dynamic way of doing like a zooping, like, you know, like for Ruby, for example, when Ruby turns into her rose petal blob and she flies around. It looks good in motion. Animatics of it would probably look very boring. Your animatic here still displays a nice, interesting, dynamic action to it, and I like it. Nice little detail, you know, especially if you're going with an animatic style to put extra little oomph into those moments where you can, you know? Just sweating through my eyes. So strong, my eyes are sweating.
Back and it's a brand new payday, so heads up, Niall. You can push me down to the bottom, but I'll keep crawling back up again and again. Let's go!
Hell yeah, 10 out of 10. So much fun. I love it. Great character. Great. I want to see them in full color. That is my only problem, that I would love to see, like, the color palette that you're working with. Because, in my mind, I'm picturing them with pink hair, and I can't help it. I'm picturing them with, like, this nice pink hair color, and I know that's not accurate, probably. But yeah. So, thanks. Awesome. 10 out of 10. Hopefully, because I promise you, I will do it again next year. And I'm going to do it during summer break, so around this time of the year. And I'd love to see you do more, because I know you wanted to do more. So, next year, I'm rooting for you. Let's keep going. Okay, from Allem, Ira. Oh, man. Ira's fun. This is also a very fun, like, character sheet. Like, the little bits and bobs in the middle here. Like, what is this? Does it mean something? Is it code? Is it just stuff for the visual sake? I love it. These little details, I could fill a whole notebook of these little details, because I find it so visually pleasing. The background behind Ira feels a little busy. Specifically, it's this black bit that's like jutting around. It's because Ira is wearing a lot of dark colors. It can feel a little bit like he's getting lost. I would have suggested maybe like a blue or something, you know, something not quite as dark, but I do like it. No, he's not from he's from my work in progress manga, Dope, named XX Caliber. Number XXI Caliber. What number is that? 21? Probably not. I'm bad with Roman numerals. XXI Caliber is still a cool name. Caliber in general is a cool, like, word to just lob into the middle of a title for things, you know? It's from the Punishing Gray Raven. Chrome arc. I have bad eyes. Hold on. Chrome arc light voice lines. I don't know what any of that means. So let's keep going. Those sound effects. You know what I love about them? Is that they're Adventure Quest sound effects. I don't know if you know, like, I don't know if, like, Adventure Quest sound effect was, it is 21, hooray! I don't know if you knew it was Adventure Quest sound effects when you got them for this animation. Me, an Adventure Quest lover, an Adventure Quest aficionado, those stock sound effects, like the lightning and the steel, just makes me happy. It just makes me happy on the inside. That's something I love. Steal the things from the things you love. Okay, Dad. Alright. Right off the bat. Your sword changing in your hand. Nice little transformation. Like it's coming into reality. What a cool little details. For a moment where a character is just standing still. Because you can have your character grab a sword and it'll look cool. But that little extra detail gives, like, the world a new personality. It's something that defines this universe. And I love it. Okay, this is a little thing. I love eyelashes that are white on characters. It's such an anime thing. It's just me. It's just a personal point. It's like when I said I like characters with pink eyes, I like white eyelashes. I think it looks cool. Alright, so a bit of a critique for this one. Again, this black thing here, I don't know what they're standing behind. In my mind, this is like an engine for like a very large airship. It could be a rock. If you don't want to define what it is, that's totally cool. But it's because it's black and it's so big, it is getting blended in with their cape. So again, I would suggest just gray or some other color to help define. And then we just got a lot of empty space on this side of the screen. So it feels very heavy on this end. I honestly don't think this needed to be here. And in a way that could help fill the emptiness of this side of the screen is just give a horizon line in the background. Just like to imply that there's something back there. For this moment, they stand very still while they talk, which is fine. Lots of characters, especially if that's part of the personality, which I definitely feel like it is, to like not move around and be too emotive. And you already had a lot of detail going on with the sword in the previous one. I wish just like a little bit more movement here. But that's just because you set up such a high precedent for the fluidity and how much movement there was in the prior sequence with the sword, that this sequence, standing so still, well, I feel like is intentional to make it, I feel like it was an intentional decision to show, like, the speed and the power they have during the action sequences versus their very reserved personality during a normal conversation sequence. I liked it a lot. I feel like just little movements here or there. You know, maybe, like, if you were going to define this animation further, just to give this scene a little bit more movement. But that's just because you set such a high standard in the beginning, which is good. It's a great job. 10 out of 10, love it, so much fun. Let's keep going. Here's up Rosemead with Robin. They're from an original story. The audio comes from Voltron, Legendary Defender. The character name is Pidge. I never watched Voltron. Everyone said that it got really bad, so I never bothered watching it. But this audio alone made me immediately fall in love with whoever Pidge is, because I love the audio. So let's hear it.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I like peanut butter, and I like peanut butter cookies, but I hate peanuts. They're so dry. Also, I sweat a lot. I mean, in general, unrelated to the peanuts.
Great, cute little audio clip. 10 out of 10. Fantastic. It's great that it's an introductory, like someone says, tell me about yourself, and this is the thing that they say. So it shows me, like they're out of the box style thinking. Like they didn't say something like, my name is this and I like that. Like they went with this weird, like clearly just some random thing off the top of their head that they have also thought about before. And it's so cute. I see that you went with a very simplistic background. Like I said, a lot of people didn't go with backgrounds. I see they're sitting on something. It'd be easy to define, like, what this world is, like, just by giving them what it is that they're sitting on. Is it a box? Is it a couch? Are they on a spaceship? There's a lot going on there, but I feel like the one biggest thing of critique I would say is just hands. Like, you've done this, this one thing
I like peanut butter.
with their hands, where it's basically just a mitt. Like, when you play Ocarina of Time, if you look at everyone's hands, their hands are just mitts. I 1000% endorse this. I think it is a good decision to go with, because hands are hard to draw, and they're even harder to animate. So, you do a good job defining it. I would just say, keep the thumb detailed. So, when they're doing certain hand movements, you do see, like, their pointer finger, but always their thumb. So I would suggest trying to put, like, a bit of the idea of a thumb in there, just to keep it feel a little bit, because without the thumb, this part gets my attention, and it makes me realize that their hands are mitts. Adding a little bit of a thumb detail would completely fix that. So, little things. Just those little tiny details, which aren't necessary, just little things that would help, like, help make it feel a bit more cohesive and put together. You understand?
They're so dry. Also,
again, and like I said earlier, shoes. No one ever thinks about shoes. Shoes are also hard to draw. I like these. These just feel like regular work boots. Like this is a very casual look. I like the one shoulder being exposed. Yeah.
I sweat a lot. I mean, in general, unrelated to the peanuts.
Oh boy, it's time for Tattle. Okay, so this artwork doesn't look like the actual animation. They've gone with 3D animation for their animation. Fun stuff. I use a great utilization of the character sheet. I like the little detail here where they tell us that her eyes are cameras and that's why they're solid black. I wouldn't have thought about it, but knowing this detail is smart. It makes sense. It's because it's Five Nights at Freddy's. It makes sense in universe. The name Tattle also ties into that. It helps that I know this franchise. With your original works, there's these little details are going to be lost on me. Because if I didn't know Five Nights at Freddy's, I wouldn't understand why cameras being in her eyes meant anything and why her name was Tattle. Because I do know the franchise, it makes more sense to me. So that's kind of when you end up going with an original work, those little details might be lost on me. So if I miss any of them, please let me know in the comments below. Go ahead and spill your whole guts about your characters in the comments below. And also, if you want, if you have posted your entry on YouTube or something, leave a link to it in the description, or in the comments rather. And I'll also try to, put them in a playlist altogether, if you all want to do that. So, let's go into Tattle, because Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh, that reminded me. I want to tell you all something. This video, I didn't monetize. I wasn't gonna monetize it regardless, because it felt scummy to monetize a video of all of your guys' hard work. But I couldn't monetize it even if I wanted to, because it got the most amount of copyright claims I've ever gotten on any video. And it's all because of the music. And so this one is music. It's Nightmare Before Christmas. One of my favorite songs, Kidnap the Santa Claus. Have you guys heard the cover from Korn? Korn's cover of Kidnap Santa Claus? 10 out of 10. This is the original. Here we go. Let's get into it. What a cute design. A mouse ballerina.
I wish my cohorts weren't so dumb.
I'm not the dumb one. You're no fun.
Shut up.
Make me.
I've got something. Listen.
I don't remember which one is Lock, Shock, or Barrel. I think the girl is Barrel. Fun personality to pick for a character, especially with a villainous character like Five Nights at Freddy's here. It makes me want to see who are the dumb cohorts Tattle is talking to in this scenario, you know? You don't know what monetize is? You make money off of it, from ad revenue and stuff.
Oh good, you'll see. We'll send a present to his door. Upon there'll be a note to read.
I love how much movement there is with her legs, especially, because she's a ballerina. I feel like, and it might just be, I don't know what you animated this in. I think it's, I don't know what software you use to animate this in, and it might just be fabric software. It's difficult with this engine, but I would love to see you try to push out the bell of her skirt because she's a ballerina, especially versus the original 2D character art you had in the beginning, where it really puffs out. I don't know the limitation of the animation software you're using, but if you can find a way to figure it out, that'd be a lot of fun. Just a random suggestion I'm throwing out there.
Now in the box
the lighting, ooh, the change in the lighting. That's the thing when you're playing around with 3D models. Lighting kind of automatically gets affected to it, so you gotta play around with it a lot faster, at least from the animation softwares I've seen. Nice, fun little, like, sinister edge to just cut out the audio, the lighting in this section of the screen. Makes her look all threatening and sinister and stuff. Fun stuff. I love it. Really, if you didn't know Five Nights at Freddy's and you went into this would really help sell the idea that this character is a villain to some degree. Love it. I don't know what this setting is, like this table of random breads and boxes, but I like it. And specifically, I like the striped walls because it implies a circus tent, and I feel like that fits the ballerina and Five Nights at Freddy's aesthetic really well. Locke is the devil, Shock is the witch, Barrel's the skeleton. I was wrong. Damn. Yeah, then the red. Ooh, the one critique though. I love the red, but it's a little too dark. I can't see her anymore. Because that's the thing. It's one thing, alright. When you're doing things like this, it's often, we all do that thing. All artists do this, where we put ourselves in a dark little room with our tablet on full blast, our computer screen, whatever it is. It's as bright as possible in a dark-ass room in the middle of the night, and that scenario, you can definitely see, the darker parts. What is loading? The darker parts of someone's screen here. I'm sitting here in normal daylight, in the middle of the day. And so it is important, if you're going to do a darker setting, to try to look at it in a scenario where someone might be in an average lit room to see if you lose some of your features. I would suggest maybe having a backlight on her, and make it red as well to, like, fit the theme you got going on here. So then, like, a bit of a red shine right behind her, just to keep her silhouette still seen in frame. And if you can manage it, I don't know the limitations of your animation software, but if you can manage it, put like a little red highlights, like shine in the cameras of her eyes, just to, like, the reflection from the light that we have going on here. So, just because it gets a little lost here, but I love it so much. Alrighty. 10 out of 10. So good. Oh boy, this is another one that got a copyright claim because of the song. ANNI, I believe is how you pronounce it. ANNI, with Toomas. Again, I believe that's how you pronounce that. If I ever pronounce your name incorrectly, yell at me in the comments and tell me how dumb I am. An old OC backstory from 2009 to 2015. It is fun to go back to, like, original ideas you had before that you might have abandoned at some point in time, and it's fun, like, because then you gotta, like, play around with it and, like, revamp it and stuff. Come at it with new eyes, and now that you have years of experience. The audio is from Don't Start Watching Me Now, Rockwell versus Dua Lipa mashup, which is it was a wacky, because I never heard the Dua Lipa part, but I know the Rockwell half of the song, which is like the bass line, the music in the background of it. So the different lyrics really threw me. I like the blue, lots of blue in this one. Let's go. Waiting on it. Here we go. Alright, so this is something I really appreciate, is adding the subtitles to the video. I personally watch everything with subtitles, especially with, like, song lyrics, where it can be hard to, like, understand song lyrics sometimes. I appreciate it. Off the bat, I see you're going with a simplified, because we saw the character before, they have a lot more detail. This is a much more simplified version of it. It's similar to an animatic style, which I'm, again, totally on board. It makes sense if you're animating to simplify your work, because you do the refinement process after. My critique is this shade of blue and this gray of the background is a little similar to each other. I wish the background was darker. Like a couple of shades of darker gray, just so the blue really popped a lot better. So they were a little bit easier to see. It does kind of work because they're a ghost, so there is this sense of they're almost not there. They're ethereal, but because like little details here, like the movement of their hand, there's a little line here that implies the movement. I can barely see it, especially with the speed of your animation. So I wish the background was just a little bit darker, so it helps your line art pop a lot better. Like with this one. This fixes it. Just that first shot was just so bright. If you wanted to transition into the darker element of the animatic, you could have a fade, like a gradient. That would fix it too. Like start light and have it like fade down into a bit of a darker color, because that would also help your line art pop better. Such good movement with this one. This is my favorite part, the dancing with somebody part. Not only is this like movement, like this body, it's a simple shape, you know. There's not a lot of definition here. It's a simple little sketch you've drawn, but it shows the like motion really well. There's a fluidity to it that I can feel, and I love the little Grim Reaper with their little arm dancing. Oh, and then making them dancing transition into the face. Nice little touch. I was not expecting it, especially with how simplistic they looked when they were dancing together. Have it turning into like a well-defined facial feature to sing, like lip sync along with the song. So much fun. Lots of fun little details with this. What's the name of the song? Hold on. It was Don't Start Watching Me Now. Rockwell versus Dua Lipa mashup. So, there you go. So many good details. And then we introduce red. Everything's been blue at this point. So, introducing red, immediately antagonist. Like, they have an angry face, which also tells us antagonist, but opposite colors tend to feel like opposites in like a hero versus color theory is so difficult to talk about sometimes. So, because we've been introduced with just blue this whole time, introducing a new color here immediately tells us wrong, bad, something is different. And the way our character is antagonizing them further hammers home how this person, and like the lyrics don't come out and stuff, further emphasizes how whoever this nameless other is not welcome here. Perhaps the person, also head shake. This motion with the, I see exactly what motion you're trying to say here. Fun stuff. I like that. It would be really cool to see. Perhaps this is the person that led to the ghost man dying. Who knows? It is a possibility. That's a fun thing with these like animation challenges, is that you got the, like I said earlier, it's like a commercial for the story you're trying to tell. Even with these things here, you give us the room to speculate, and then we can have a conversation, and then we all start talking about your submission, and that's really fun. I like generating discussion around your submissions with these things. Hooray! That one went on for a little bit longer. I had to cut it short. They had thanks and stuff at the end. 10 out of 10. So much fun. Oh boy. Armoraxis with Lyra. Lyra Starlight. First of all, I don't know what animation software you used. I love this. I love this style so much. Blocky, square. I am so here for it. It's very... What is that called? Gregory's House of Horrors or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about? I love it. I love the blockiness of these characters. Reminds me of like N64 era or early PlayStation. I'm a big fan of that aesthetic, and I feel like this could very easily make a comeback. A lot of people are going with very like smooth, rounded features and stuff, you know, like Disney and Pixar or whatever. I feel like this is a style that's just waiting to come back. I'm all here for it. So, from an original franchise, She's the main character of her game. You. Galleon Zero. Nice. And it's my own poor voice. Is that poor? Is that a poor voice? Have more faith in yourself. Be confident. Confident. You gotta believe. Oh, look at these. Look at that. Look at all the polygons. Look at this. I love it. I just love it so much. It's a very detailed character. When you're working with a 3D model, it's a lot easier to have a very detailed, intricate character like this. So the, like, draw them 100 times thing, like I was saying before, it doesn't necessarily apply to a 3D model, which is fun, but because you can go as heavy with the details as you want, it's easy to go overboard. I think you do a good job. You're close at going overboard. Like, perhaps, like, the different colored hands doesn't need to be so intricate, but the fact that you keep it all within the same color range, like, it's not a completely different shade of purple, it's the same purple in her horns and her hair, the same with the teals in her collar and stuff, so... Rocky Horror Picture Show? No, what was it called? It was a weird little horror TV show from Canada, I believe. I'll think about it. Loving it. Let's go.
By the shining star of peace and justice, I, the hope of the galaxy, the light of millions of followers' dark days,
I love it. I love everything she's saying. She's a little quiet, so I don't know if you can hear it necessarily. I just made it going to watch the stream at 2 times speed to catch up. Nice. I know, I can hear you did some sort of distortion to your voice to make it higher pitched. I think it's a cute style. I'm totally into it. You should have more faith in yourself. Reboot. No. What was it called? Hold on. I'll look it up. If everyone's asking, let me look it up so then we all know what we're talking about. It had Judgment Boy. Does anyone know Judgment Boy? Gregory Horror Show. That's what it's called? The Gregory Horror Show. Just look that up. Look up Judgment Boy from the Gregory Horror Show. That's what I'm talking about. That's a style I'm totally into. Weird show. Scary show.
bombshell beauty hero, Lyra's Starlight.
I love the posing, the introducing yourself in a whole grand manner and everything like that. It's a great way at telling me about this character. It's a fun, quirky way because they're just standing there. Technically, you know, when you sat down and you thought of your scene, you probably just said, and then she's standing there. But she's not just standing there, you know. What poses and actions you do, the hand movements, that is so much that goes towards building a character's personality. And I love it. And then it's even better here.
Who's this bitch?
So funny. Oh my god. It tells me so much about not only her, but then the world around her. Because that's another way you can define a character, is not only what they do, but how others react to them. So, fun stuff. Very detailed, also, whatever's going on here. A lot of fun. I love it. Great style going on. On to the next one. I keep getting a drink of water as we're moving on to the next one, and I never have enough time to finish drinking my water. From Anonymous, Wave. Wave is the name of the character. It's not from a franchise. Audio is from the dubbed version of Levi versus Kenny. Fight from Attack on Titan when they're in the bar. I never watched Attack on Titan. Cool. Good to know. Let's go.
To achieve my grand goal, I'll kill it.
Okay, so this initial shot, it's first of all, fascinating decision to not have it start with our character. Usually the first thing you see is the character to introduce them into the setting. Interesting decision to not do that, and I like it. I do wish, so I don't understand the context of this. You've gone with a very simplistic style just to set up the idea of a different person other than who our main character is, Wave. I was a little confused at first because I don't know what's happening in this scenario. You can have like text on screen. Like if you don't want to draw it all out, because you don't have to. You can just have text on screen that like sets up what is happening here. I assume this is a gun, but why? Is this a holdup? Especially because it gave you such a limited amount of time and such limited audio to use. You know, if you want to set things up with text on screen, that totally works. And in fact, it usually can help like catch everyone up so we don't have to sit here and like speculate.
As many as get in my way. And you're no different. You kill too when it benefits you. Yeah. Oh.
Damn. Just the first thing you see, double barrel shotgun, bladding a dude. So, this is the first look of our character. Same look we got from the intro, like their introduction character page. So, a fun character, a neat looking character. The blue and yellow is an interesting decision. I wish they had more yellow, or I guess orange. Yellow-orange. I wish they had more of this color in their design, because they have the blue right here with their shirt. I wish like there was like even just like a yellow stripe on their shirt somewhere, just to like help tie it all together somehow. So, it's a simple one. It was a very short, simple one. It told me enough that the character is a badass and does things outside the law if they need to, but I wish we could see just a little bit more, you know, just a tiny bit more. Maybe like them landing or something like that, you know? You have room to expand and go further beyond. Moving forward, Orange Puppet, hell yeah. Michael J. Anderson, hell yeah. I love Orange Puppet. They crack me up. This is great. So, this is from SCP, but it's their own altered canon universe. I don't know much about SCP, so it doesn't... I don't know any differences, so it's all new to me. And then he did the voice himself.
Welcome to this video, which is for the animation challenge of Judgmental Crew. So enjoy the video.
I love Orange Puppet. I love Orange Puppet so much.
Hello, I'm Michael Anderson. I'm the leader of this foundation, and I am really goddamn old. I've lost track.
It's the fact that you kept the laugh at the end there. Okay, so the idea is that they're introducing themselves because they're filming themselves to introduce them as the founder of this foundation. Like, they made that. Great setting, great idea to help set up why they're introducing themselves, because people don't just stand there in the middle of like real daylight and be like, hi, this is me. So having them just be filming themselves is a great easy way to get around that. So 10 out of 10. Okay, so I want to talk about your sky color. Now, everything is yellow and purple. I assume it's because everything's on fire now. I'm uncertain. It might be something related to SCP. I don't know. I get it. I wish it was a different shade of yellow than the sun was in the previous shot. Just because it kind of feels like the sun exploded a little bit. I feel like, but like that's a minor nitpick, you know.
You've gotta be joking me. This situation is ridiculous. Oh man, I've lost so many Rogers.
So, I don't know why their eye changes color here. Maybe it's a part of the character. I enjoy it. I think it's a quirky, fun element.
Blue, Jack, my old commander, so may have been lost.
I like how you have fun with the text, like when the
so many Rogers, Blue, Jack, my old commander.
The way a commander falls off the shoulder because it doesn't fit. I think that's fun. Like, if you're gonna include subtitles and you're writing them out yourself, it's fun to like go a little like also the colors with their different names. Fun stuff. Fun little details.
So may have been lost, and I thought I had lost Stuart.
Back to being brown again. It might be an SCP thing. I have no idea. Like the Eye of Remembrance. I have no idea.
But luckily Stuart returned. God. But I've lost too many, and I don't know how many more I'm gonna lose before the end.
Maybe not. Okay, so he has his like existential crisis thinking about how many people he's lost. Maybe don't have them smile at the very end. I'm sure he's smiling because he's smiling to me, the audience member, the person who's watching this video, and you're happy that I've watched it, and he's smiling because of that. I would suggest maybe just a flat line to say the end instead for their mouth rather than smiling, because it does make the tone feel a little weird when he's sitting there going like, I've lost so many people, and then he just smiles at the end. So, but that's a minor little thing.
Thanks for watching this video.
Yeah. So much fun. Fun stuff. Alright. Let's keep going. Bennet. Yes. With Luna Belladonna. Which is crazy. I read this. I did that. I read her name. And then as I was watching the animation, then I realized she's the daughter of Blake. And I was like, oh, yeah, her name was Belladonna. So, not only did you told it to us, which is good, you should always tell us important information like that, but also, like, your animation, like the story you have throughout, displayed that good enough as well. So, even me, who couldn't put two and two together, you still displayed this good enough to set up that she is Blake's daughter within your animation, which is good. I'm gonna get some water, 1 second. Dope. It's a Ruby AU, and your sister recorded your audio. Round of applause for Bennet Warwick's sister. Round of applause. Well done. It's not easy putting yourself out there, and she's done a great job. So, 10 out of 10. So, okay, bit of a spoiler for this. It's Blake and Yang's daughter. It's technically. Yang, like, adopted her, and she's technically Blake and Adam's daughter, like, biologically. So that's why she has the red hair and cat ears, and she uses what appears to be some sort of form of gauntlets to fight. That's also why she's wearing yellow. She displays all of their characteristics very well. Like, I can see how Blake, Yang, and Adam has had impacts on the design for this character. I wish, like, her character was a little defined as well. For example, like, the red, the yellow, the purple, but what's her color? Which one is her specific color? Because the red comes from Adam, yellow comes from Yang, purple comes from Blake. I want to know more about Luna herself, which might be part of the adventure she's on, to help define herself, you know? To help break out of being associated with the people who's part of her upbringing, and this is how she's learning and growing from that. Fun stuff, let's get into it. Also, purple shoes. Again, people look at the shoes. I like purple shoes. That's a cute touch.
No matter what you say.
Oh, sorry. It's real quiet. I'm going to turn up the audio a lot more.
No matter how much you convince me, I am nothing like you.
Hell yeah. Great. The use of action lines for the emphasis on nothing, good detail. Good little detail.
My mother did the right thing by running away, because my life would have been a whole lot worse with you in it. I have friends and family who accepted me despite my...
There's a lot going on in this animation. Like, it's a very long one, despite basically just being one person standing there talking to another person. And I like the little details. You go with a lot of different shots, which I really appreciate. Like, we see a lot of different camera angles. People don't always think about that kind of thing. And I like the detail there.
My origins, and my mom, who you hurt the most.
Like, that little emphasis, that point, yes. Hell yes.
Like her own, because I wasn't like you.
And I was like, oh, what are you guys doing here? And then I was like, oh, mom, because she just mentioned her mom. Oh, and then I put two and two together. So well done. I don't know who that other character is. I assume her teammate, perhaps? Which I would love to know more. That's the thing. I want to see more. There's more going on that you've clearly thought of.
And she's right. You may be my father, but you're not my family. Now get the hell out.
Okay, so the only critique I have is this last shot here. First of all, you did a great job not breaking the 180 rule, which was great, because you went from the character facing that direction, like we saw her like in mid-profile and 3/4 angle, and then the camera pans over to be in front of her, so then she looks dynamic, so we see the power of her looking down at Adam. You didn't break the 180 rule to do that, which is very, very good. The only time we moved the camera around to the other side was when she looked over her other shoulder at her other teammate, and that was how you got the camera to sit in front of her. Well done. Breaking the 180 rule, people do it all the time. You've done a good job avoiding that. Good job. My only critique, this shot I feel like should be up more. I don't think we needed this head space up here. Like we could have moved her head up slightly, you know, like get her chin in. We didn't need this head space up here, like this empty spot. Get her face more center frame. Because this is like her big final moment and she feels a little too low. I feel like you were trying to emphasize her eyes. Her eyes are yellow. She's already going to be the emphasis. This is her moment. Her mouth should also be a part of the emphasis, and she's getting a little cut off. That is the only critique I have. Get out of here. Yeah, get the fuck out. 10 out of 10. Great stuff. Wonderful. Again, round of applause for your sister, who did a great job with that voice acting. She did a really great job. A lot of emotion in those lines. Okay, Anshiel, with, I believe it's pronounced Susi, but the dots over the U make me uncertain about that. So if I'm wrong, tell me. Sorry about that, I was using new software and something went wrong. Understandable. Things like that happen all the time. I totally get that. From original story, the audio's from Amphibia. I've never seen Amphibia, so let's dive into it.
Oh, please! You're not upset because you lost the fight!
So, this part in the beginning. There's a lot of little stuff going on. Like, this background has a lot of detail. And I know, I appreciate you showing me the detail of the background, but also knowing when to emphasize your line movements for the scene versus the movements from the background. I would say the background is a little busy, and I know it's probably supposed to look busy, but because you've gone with a lot of different colors, it's hard to keep my eye on the character. Once you go through like a couple, it's a simple thing, and you probably know this. Once you go through the refinement process of defining the background, it would help, they wouldn't get so lost within each other, and especially because this character goes from a lot of different colors with the blacks to oranges over here. Just like, it's a bit of a busy background, it can steal your eye away from what we're supposed to be looking at. Even when it is fully detailed without the different colors going on, so that's something you like, I don't think it would be a worry, because like, they have fire in their hands, and I think they would get my attention they would grab my attention perfectly fine, but just don't, keep your eye in background sometimes. They can be a lot.
Because you lost your friend! You're upset that Anne stood up to you, and that things between you will never be the same again.
Who is voicing this character? Is this Mr. Krabs? Is this the man who voices Mr. Krabs? Just an interesting thing I've noticed.
Again.
So, fun stuff. Fun little scene with Susi. Susi, I believe. I would love to know the context.
Oh,
You've done a good job telling me their character. Like, especially, like, they're very upset about something. Clearly. They must have a reason to be upset. I feel like there's context I'm missing, and I would love to see more. That's the thing. That's a good, and that is a good thing. I want more, you know?
You're not upset because you lost the fight! You're upset because you lost your friend! You're upset that Anne stood up to you, and that...
Yeah. It's a good scene. I like it a lot. I like how the fire grows with the, like, emotion of what they're saying. 10 out of 10. I love it a lot. I was uncertain if this was the character, just because they're not wearing their hat. That hat with their design from their, like, introduction artwork is very, like, recognizable to me. Not having the hat on made me uncertain. So, maybe I would suggest maybe even having their... Is it Clancy Brown? I would suggest either having their hat on in the scene, or for their character art, not having the hat, just so, like silhouette-wise, they're more easily recognizable, especially since you've gone with a little bit more of a sketchier style here. But that's not necessary, you know? Just a bit of a suggestion. It is Troy Baker. Wow, good job, Troy. Twilight Guardian, yeah, I saw you in chat, there you are. So, okay, so, Castelle, I believe, is how you pronounce their name. Well done going through, like, figuring out how to write it out this way could not have been easy. So, props. Preferred pronouns, doesn't understand, /male, which is a fun little detail to give for the character. Original story, which is an unreleased novel, which is fun. I can't wait for when it gets released, because it'll be exciting, because then I'll be like, I know that character, I've seen that. But the audio comes from Quest from Camelot, which I watched a very long time ago. I don't remember it, but I think I know which character this audio comes from. Let's dive in. Also, great character design. Like, the blonde really stands out against all of the darks of the outfit, and despite having many dark elements, they don't feel too, like they blend together too much, you know? I would say maybe just, like, the purple of the pant leg from the purple of the coat. They feel a little samey, but also I wouldn't want it any other way because it ties the whole thing together. So, let's dive in. This little creature. What a way to start. little chattering creature dude. You have a lot of great little details, especially with the water motion, you know? Water's difficult. Some people just cannot do it, and it's not easy.
That was incredible. How you smashed those.
Oh, the little eye roll. This is a fun one because it's a lot of another person talking at this character. And so, it's like I kind of mentioned it earlier. Seeing how someone reacts to another character is another way of really defining how that character is as well, without necessarily giving them all the lines of dialogue.
Those creatures, how you avoided that thing.
I love this shot. I don't know why. I really just like it. I think it's their hands. You've done a very good job drawing their hands.
You're amazing. You're not even listening to me.
There's things going on in this scene that I'm sure if I read your novel, once it comes out, which I will, that would make sense to me. For example, they like poke the screen and the germs from Dr. Mario die. I'm sure it means something. I would love to know more of the context. So, if you have like further explanations as to what exactly was happening with them digging through that bag, tell me, because I would love to know. Because it's a thing where it's like, I can see there's reasons behind what is happening, but I don't know the context of it, which is fun. Also, I love the intricacies of this hilt. Sword hilts are hard. People don't always think about this, you know? Especially because it's a nice close-up shot. It's nice to let this moment be a great opportunity to show off all the details of the sword, so they don't need to worry about drawing it later in the scene.
You saved my life. Thank you.
Well, anyone can make a mistake. And now...
God, it's so good. That flippant little hand flip with anyone can make a mistake. So good. Like, also, what a response to, you saved my life, and it's already, I regret that, and that was a mistake. So, what a great way to just define this character. The playfulness of the hand motion, their, like, facial expressions, the line that you chose.
Now I'll thank you.
For what?
For reminding me why I'm a hermit.
Oh, wait.
Oh, so good. Oh my god. Does such a good job at defining this character. And then you see the sadness that they don't want to be a hermit. They don't want to be alone from everyone forever. But they don't know how to talk to people. So, 10 out of 10. You've sold it really well. I want to know this world more, because the little things you've showed me make me interested. Like the little creatures, the little jabbering things here and there, like the intricacy of the sword that they clearly were looking for. All of it. 10 out of 10. I'm hooked. I love it a lot. And just a great line to go for a character. Let's keep going. Ethan with Ethan. Fun fact, when I got everyone's files, I titled them with your name and then your character's name. And so Ethan was very easy to remember. Alrighty. It's from a franchise? Nope. My character is from my own franchise, Reality's Reflection, which is subject to change. I like Reality's Reflection. I think it's a good one. I like this rainbowy thing we got going on here with their magic and stuff. Ooh, wow, so pretty. Nice motion for a character who is rather static. That's a nice little detail right there. Music is Astute and Fearless Leader from Yu Peng Chen, which I don't know what that is. Okay, let's get into it. Again, a bit of a storyboard type style. So much fun. You're right, yes, you're correct, Gunther. It is very cute. I like perspective. We don't talk about it a lot. I hate drawing perspective, but you've done a good job making it feel like there's many people coming into the forest here. Yeah, this pose, this like I'm gonna chop down this tree, great motion with this body. I feel like you probably took a picture of someone or used like a still image of someone to base this off of, because this is great motion right here. 10 out of 10. Well done. Yeah, then our guy shows up, and we can tell it's our guy because they're the only one wearing clothes because of this animatic style. You have subtitles here, and they go by a little too fast for me to read. That's fine. Like, I understand because of your animatic style. It works technically. I did have to slow down in my editing software to read what all the subtitles were. Just throw that out there. If you want to have subtitles but it's going by too quickly, you can have the subtitles be a separate thing that goes over it, you know? But it's not always necessary. Yeah. And doing an action sequence to show us your character makes me feel like they probably are very reserved in everyday life. But once there is a moment of action, that's when they really, like, take charge. That's when they really show who they really are, which is a fun decision for this challenge. I will say, this one shot right here, we'll get back to it in a second. There's a bit of a perspective thing on it that confused me at first. So... yeah, so this person is just closer to us. I thought they were huge for a second, because we see the smaller guys in the distance, and they get closed up in their fist. I thought they were, like, really, like a giant enemy had appeared. It took me a second to realize what it was. But that might just be me, you know? This blur effect, like, made me realize what it was that was going on. I don't know how I could recommend you like altering that, other than perhaps just getting rid of the people in the background to imply to better simplify the scene to alleviate that issue. But I don't know if anyone else had like that problem. Maybe it's just me. Such good motion. This fluid motion here with the action. Makes me bummed it ends there, because I want to say more. You have a great sense of fluidity and proportion, body movements. That's the only one thing that I could think of that I was, like, unsure of, but I feel like would also be an easy fix. So, 10 out of 10. Great stuff. Yeah, maybe blur the background people, like Twilight Guardian says. That might fix it, you know? Alright, Mystic Cosmos with Echo, hooray. A lot of people didn't go with animals. I expected a lot more animals, which confused me. Original story is currently called A Silly Little Cat Love Story, which is a great title. I love the, like, starry book they're holding onto here. For being such a simple-looking fellow, the book is magical. And so, That is what implies more for this character. They're not the main character, but with the book, yes, now I see it. The audio comes from Kingdom Hearts 2. Again, I've never seen Kingdom Hearts. Let's dive in. So, diving right in with the cats. Okay, so you've done a good job defining the two different cats. A lot of people might sit there and look at cats and think, oh, they look exactly the same because they're all cats. Simple things like this one's tail is longer. You know, they have more broad shoulders and this one has longer pointed ears. Little things. You clearly have a grasp on it. If you want more, I suggest just looking at warrior cats animations because they all tend to do a pretty good job at making the cats different body shapes to define them against each other. But if you're doing a cat story, I would imagine you've probably already watched a lot of warrior cats animations.
What I said back there.
Very expressive, you know. Animals are different to give emotions to than people, and you clearly have a very good grasp on it. I don't know what to say, because you display their emotions very well. And that's also part of the hard part, is when you do an animal-type character, they don't have, like, hands to work with, necessarily. Like, other people has had, like, hand motions be a part of displaying their characters, like, what they're saying, what they're doing. Because you're stuck with an animal, at most you could give, like, their tail to do something, but it's usually just their face. So their facial expressions are really crucial, and you've done a very good job at displaying the range of emotions our character is going through here.
To tell you the truth, Sora, I was jealous of you. What for?
So, something I mentioned earlier about breaking the 180 rule. We've technically done that, and this is a great opportunity for me to explain it. So, we're looking at the character from this side of the face. We are sitting on their right side, because we can see the right side of their face.
I was jealous.
And now, we're over here. We're on their left side to show us the moon. We're technically breaking the 180 rule. That, or we're getting very, very close to it. If you want to move the camera over here, I would suggest either having their initial part of the conversation start on where we're seeing this side of their face, so we don't move the camera so far away. It isn't as bad during a conversation scene. It can disorient your viewer to suddenly resituate yourself on the other side of a character. Unless you're, but you can do it if you're, there is a way to do it intentionally, but usually you break the 180 rule if you're trying to give your viewer the sense of unease. So, if this is a scene where you're trying to make us feel uneasy, then yes, you have done a very good job. If you're not, then I would suggest, instead of having them facing the other direction, which I understand why you did that, because they were looking, like we were in the position of the character they're looking at. So it's a bit of a hard situation here. I think what you've got here works very well, because I don't think breaking the 180 rule, like, it didn't disorient me or anything. The fact that I know it's just two cats sitting next to each other, and we wanted this nice cool shot of the moon, I think it works. Maybe, like, one picture in between, because they started talking, then we cut to this shot. One picture where we see Cat A and Cat B head on, and Cat A is saying their line, and Cat B is looking at them. And then we move to this one. So then we, like, transition around the character rather than cutting straight to it. Does that all make sense? I hope so.
What for?
Yeah, something similar to that one, where we're seeing them more from, like, a face-forward perspective, you know?
I could live life the way you do. Just following my heart.
Great stuff. Fun. Weird. I don't know the context of the audio, but it was really good audio. It did tell me a lot about the character and how they're going through something. There's definitely, like, more to them that they're worried about, and I do like that. Great stuff. 10 out of 10. Well done. Alrighty. Let's go. So, BatFang did a fascinating decision of, like, having lots of stuff around their character sheet, which I thought was interesting. Usually people just put it in it. making it smaller and having the image be larger around it to play around with more stuff, fascinating decision. Character's name is Fate, and own from your own thing, which I believe is called Grand Synergy. Yep, that's what it says. Grand Synergy. Fun name. Fantastic name. Alright, the sound effects are from random YouTube videos. The voice clip is from Ruby. Yes, yes it is. So, let's dive in. Actually, you know what? Before I lied, I'm a liar. Before we dive in, I want to talk about your character design real quick.
To tell you the truth, Sora.
Here we go. No, come back. God, I'm the worst with these things. I can't technology. This is a great time to get some water, I guess.
Following my heart.
Okay. So, character design. Masks are difficult because it's hard to read emotions through a mask. So it's an interesting choice. But also, I feel like that's definitely a part of the character that they don't want you to see what their emotions are. I think your color palette is great. Black, red, and white look great together. They don't feel too busy. They don't overlap too much. So, fun stuff. Well done. Well done. That's mostly what I wanted to say. That I like your color palette. It doesn't feel too much, you know? Lots of times, like, especially, because you've all seen Ruby. Lots of times it can feel like too much, and I think you have enough detail so it's interesting, but also, like, it's not too much that it feels, like, busy or hard to, your eye doesn't know where to go, you know? The mask does help with that. That is one thing. If you have an armor-heavy character, masks can, like, help, like, bring your eyes specifically to their face. The red line art, fun choice.
Do you believe in destiny?
I'm gonna be honest. The first time, it's me. I'm dumb. The first time I watched this, I didn't realize this smaller person was this person. Which I should have realized because they're wearing the same outfit. I think it's that the purple...
Do you believe in destiny?
Caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that. But this shot, this side-by-side, where we see them, this is where we can clearly see, oh yeah, that is the same character. Like, at first I was like, oh, they're a child? Like, they're, like, this person's kid or something? Maybe a younger sibling? No, the hair color, the outfit, even though this is a very different outfit, except for the scarf that they're wearing, keeping it the same color palette as their armor helps sell the idea that this is the same person. Also, bows, cool, fun stuff. Transforming weapons, fun little sparkle effect for the transforming weapon. I like it a lot.
Yes.
Keeping the death as a silhouette, and then they transition into the current version. There's some weight there. There's some stuff going on there. It's like, whoa, like that hit. That reveal right there, that hit. Yeah. There's so many implications that anyone could read into with this scenario. I'm sure your story has a specific meaning behind it, but I feel like anyone could see this scene of someone looking at their younger self trying to kill them, and then their younger self kills them in their present day. There's so many ways people can interpret this, and I think it's awesome. Yeah. And then we see this character, who is some sort of traveling companion. I like the red outline for the hair, and then keeping the background white, because in the dreamscape beforehand, everything was just blacked out. Like, the red of the ground was the only thing. Giving the white outline for the darkness of the setting, good job. Helps bring your eye to everything that I'm supposed to, with the red of it all. And then the scar left from the arrow before. What does it mean? Is it real? Was it based on a past event? Oh, I want to know more. 10 out of 10. Great job. You've intrigued me so much. Alright, blush with cat. Alrighty. Not from a franchise. an online persona. Alrighty then. From Star Rail, which is that new game that came out from the same people who did Genshin Impact, I think. I haven't played it. I don't know anything about it. But let's dive in. Also, fun stuff with the like stars type deal in the background here. Again, I just really like it when you all went out with the design of the character sheet. Her design, really, really cool. I like it. I'm a bit of a sucker for black and pink, you know. You've done a good job utilizing the colors of Draculara, but not making her look anything like Draculara, which I appreciate because I love Draculara. It's these shoes is the best part. I know I keep bringing up the shoes, but these stripy, like, stocking ribbon things, cute as hell. I like how it all ties together. Sorry. Like how it all ties together with the pink of her eyes, with the accent colors throughout. There's enough pink in her design to make her stand out and not feel so monotone, but enough dark grays and blacks to make her, to give the, like, sort of gothic feel that you're going for. Awesome. Love it. Sometimes less is more. You don't need a million different colors on a character sometimes.
Dang.
And also, little crown. Great detail. Not enough crowns on characters.
But no thanks. I can't stand moving at someone else's pace.
Great. 10 out of 10. Oh my god, what a good line. I can't stand moving at someone else's pace. So when you picked this character, it was probably difficult because based on this line and their body movements, it's clear that they are not a character who likes to do a lot of things. They're very, like, humdrum a little bit. And so when you're tasked with showing me their personality in one scene, that's difficult for a character as laid back as this. The audio you picked does a really good job at displaying that, but also the hand on, like holding their head in their hand, lazy, like type deals like that. There's a lot of little details here. Despite having a character that's not doing much, you've done a good job displaying that is part of the personality, not a detriment of it.
We don't have much time. If I were you, I'd make a move before it's too late.
Yeah, like with other characters, I've talked about maybe moving more. With her, I feel like having her move more would retract from the element of her personality that you're displaying, which is great. 10 out of 10. Love it a lot. And I like how, because you went with someone who's not moving so much, you put a little bit more into their different facial expressions. Fun stuff. Well done. Although, in order to critique something, we have a lot of dead space up here. So, I don't see why this character couldn't have been more center screen, you know? Especially, like, between their head and the top of the screen here, there's a lot of dead space. So, we could have just moved her up to be a bit more center. But that's it. That's the only critique I have.
If I were you, I'd make a move before it's too late.
Here we go. It's Darren with Aaron Elliott, aka the Werebeast, which is so much fun. Oh my god. I love the colors. It's a very interesting take on a superhero. I like how they still have the cape. I like how the yellow scratches on their chest matches the yellow of their cape and their shoes. Like, it all ties together really well. No, he's not from any series. It's from Chaos Universe. Cool, which is a cool sounding name. And you've done your own voice acting, which I applaud you. Again, it's not easy. It's not easy putting yourself out there. I love Werebeast. I think it's a fun design, wacky. Let's go.
Hey, big guy. You have two options how this is going to go down. Option 1.
First of all, fun character. Fun way to introduce a character into a fighting scene is by talking to them. Very, very quirky, very kind of like a fun, like, in a world where so many superheroes take themselves so seriously, it's very nice having a character that's a bit more lighthearted and fun. And this does a great job at displaying it. So I see what you've done here. You've done a very smart thing with animating but not animating. By, rather than drawing out the same storyboard again, just changing the hand, you've cut out a hand and then placed it over it. And it looks great. You've done a great job. I would suggest instead, but don't use blue lined paper when the rest of it is not blue lined paper. That's my only critique with this. It's just it makes it very obvious. If you had gone with the same type of page that this comes from, would have been less easy to see, and I might not have even noticed it. Littlest of details, though, you know.
We talk. Option 2. We fight. I'll go first. Hi, my name's Werebeast, and I... Okay, I guess we're choosing option 2.
Fun character. Like, he wanted to talk, you know, but he kind of expected not to. You can see it in his face. You look at this raring to go personality. Fun. It's just a fun little scene, fun little set piece. Great way to introduce the character. Like, I would see this as, like, the first thing that happens in, like, a pilot episode to show us who this guy is. 10 out of 10. Love it so much. A nice simple scene, but does really well. Yes, Christopher with the Undertaker. Callis Undertaker, I believe. It's from your book, Circus and Other Original Work. Nice. And it's original audio as well. Hell yeah. Let's go. Oh, I want to talk about this character design first. I like this a lot. It's a simple design, but it is very easily recognizable. Keeping the color palettes very simple, especially for a more chibi-esque looking type of character like this, great idea. They're so small, you don't want too many extra crazy details going around. The skull face is really the most recognizable part of this character, and it makes me wish the white... You have plenty of white in it already, because of their skull face and their hair. I believe it's hair. Maybe like a little spot on their shirt as well. Just something tiny. It's not necessary, just to like incorporate the white throughout more of the design than just up here, you know. Not necessary, very recognizable. Let's keep going.
Is someone there? A new person. Hello there.
So cute. What a fun way to introduce us to this person. Creeping around, being all excited to see us. You've done a smart thing by having us, like the audience member, be a newcomer to this scenario. So then your character gets to directly interact with us, which is a great way to have someone introduce themselves as well, because then they gotta just say who they are. And when you meet people, that's a great way of seeing what kind of person they are.
I'm Collis Undertaker. It's so nice to meet you. What do you mean you want to leave? Oh, well.
Oh, and then I also love how you assume the conversation here. Like, because we aren't actually saying anything, and having Collis go, what do you mean you want to leave? Great job, not only kind of setting up who we are in this scenario, but also who Collis is further. Yeah, just setting up who Collis is further, and also whatever this world is. You've kept the background a little sparse here, which is fine, totally understandable, but that line alone can help me fill in the blanks myself. Like, oh, this is not a good... Whatever situation I'm in is not a good one. Collis might be a fun and happy person, but this might be a dangerous situation we're in. How's stream going? Is the quality going good so far? Because I see my stream going a little chunky right now. So is everything working well on your guys' end? Just everything going good for everybody? Can you all even hear me? Do you all even see me? Is stream lagging a little bit? Is anybody out there? Someone in chat, give me a response. Bit of a buffer. It's a bit choppy. I'm gonna put on a pause screen real second. I'm gonna see if something's going on. So I'll be right back. Chat amongst each other. Yep, I'll be right back just to see what's going on with the internet. I walk away for 3 seconds and you all are singing I Want It That Way. Some kind of next level coordination right there. Alrighty. So, it seems like it was just a spike from my computer, so let's get back into it.
I'm not going to stop you. The lady that turned us into dolls is off doing something.
Also, that line of dialogue, the lady that turned us into dolls, that's some heavy, heavy-duty world building right there. Like, that line alone told me everything I need to know about what this situation is, and I love it. It's a very smart exposition, and you've done it in a good way, like, oh, the lady that turned us into dolls, she's not here right now. Like you deliver it so well. Like, it's so smart to just have your character say it that way, you know? If I have to critique, you don't have many animations here. You have, like, I think 3 or 4 pictures. He's such a fun little guy. I want to see him moving around more, you know? Like, if you could make more pictures, I would have loved to see more. Just, like, to see him jumping around, see his body movements a little bit more and stuff like that.
That way, there's a door. Go on. I'll see you next time. I'm pretty sure you'll bump into plenty of nightmares over there. Nothing. Bye!
The little hat, then he tips his little hat, so cute. Fun character, great dialogue that you've gone with, which is crazy, you know? It's hard to see that much world building and such smartly done dialogue for such a simple little moment. But, yeah, great character, super cute, 10 out of 10. Loved it.
Have fun.
Dip. CurliArt with Eris. Fun stuff. Great design. The black bows with the design. Also, I want to know who these characters are. All these other ones? With how much fun Eris ends up being, I want to see everyone else in this whole situation right here. Fun stuff with the, like, tea decoration around, playing with the borders and whatever. Eris is fun. This pose, it has a name. This pose, this hand up laughing pose. Also, just that angry little expression she has. This pose alone tells me a lot about her character. I love the big yellow bow too. Keeping it all black and yellow to tie it all together is really smart as well. It's not from an original. It's from an original franchise, and the audio is from Chainsaw Man. It's Power. I know. The audio comes from Power, who I love. Let's dive in.
I'm thinking of ways to win the Nobel Prize in order to battle my...
Okay, I hate interrupting it because it's such a fun animation, but another one where you've actually given us a detailed background, and there's a lot of detail with this background. I like how it's Mrs. Potts and Chip. Like, it looks a lot like the tea kettle from Beauty and the Beast, which is a cute little detail. Great detailed background, which I love. And then you give us a fully animated character with a detailed design, like the pattern in her dress, all these frills, which would be a nightmare to draw over and over again, and you've done that. Like, a lot of effort went into this one.
I bored him, for once I have earned such glorious...
Which is crazy to me, because then we see even more details around here. That is crazy. It's crazy because also, you delivered this pretty quickly. Like, you weren't the first person to deliver a submission, but you were one of the first ones. And it's crazy that you got this much done in such a short amount of time, and I love it.
This esteem, all you humans will kowtow to me.
God, I love her.
I'll then make a stepping stone out of that gilded coin and snatch the Prime Minister's throne! What better way to ensure the suffering of lowly mortals? And my first act shall be to implement a 100% sales tax!
Oh my god, it's so good. Also, you've drawn hands, which hands are hard to draw, and all throughout this, they're everywhere. So much amazing detail in this one, which I adore, but also you've gone with such a fun line of dialogue. Like, Power is crazy. Power gives you a lot of fun lines of dialogue. This one does such a great job telling me everything about this character, and I want to see so much more. It's fun. It's very fun. You went all out in every regard. Like, you did so many different styles, you played around with location and stuff. It's funny as well. Her cute little, like, chibi animation where she's, like, talking to herself.
Then make a stepping stone out of that gilded coin and snatch the Prime
Like
Minister.
this one. Oh, look at how she's holding her teacup. There's a lot of just cute little details here. I don't know if I have any critique, because it's just very well done.
Throne! What better way to ensure the suffering of lowly mortals? And my first act shall be to implement a 100% sales tax!
And then she cracks the teacup. It's just a fun scene. You've done so much effort. It's so much crazy amount of detail. And I love it. You've done everything amazingly to display not only this character, but just a very fun little animation in general. 10 out of 10. Love it so much. Let's keep going. Ooh, it's Betty. It's Betty, Brevity, the communication truck. What a great name. It's from Starlight Express. I have no idea what this is. It doesn't matter to me. Because this design is amazing. The name Brevity the Communication Truck alone made me fall in love with this character. I wish I knew more about Starlight Express, because I feel like there's a lot going on with this design that probably is related to this franchise. On her own, though, she's already so much fun. Like, you've kept a very similar color palette, which is great. I like the white of the hair, though. Like, there's all these little details with the purples and pinks. And they look really good together, but the white with the hair matching the stripes throughout the design is a nice detail. Audio clips from Rogue? Rouge. Which one is it? I think it's Rogue. Rogue the Bat from Sonic Adventure 2. Awesome. Let's go. Oh. Brevity is an Electra X Caboose fan kid that I made in part out of spite for the 2018 update of Starlight Express. I don't know, but I'm sure, to people who know what Starlight Express is, I bet that all made sense. Let's keep going.
How is that? Perfect? Like me?
God, she's so cute. One line of dialogue. How was that perfect like me? That's 4 words. No, how was that perfect like me? That's 6 words, you know? And that's all she ends up saying here. It's a rather short animation. First of all, I like how the audio on her chest fluctuates with what she's saying, kind of implying that is where the audio is coming from rather than her actual mouth. But that line alone, how is that perfect like me? 10 out of 10. That's a great line to display someone's personality. Like, proud that they think they're perfect, but also, like, they have enough of an attitude to say it. She's a cute design. I like this. I like everything about what's going on here. Simple, short. Sometimes keeping it simple and short is not a bad thing. I like it a lot. It is Rouge. Rogue? Woof. 10 out of 10. I love Brevity. Great stuff. Oh boy, it's Brianna with TigerloneWolf. Yeah, I love this design so much. This is a detailed design. I've paused. Your picture went by so quickly. And so I've paused it where it's a bit of we're in the middle of a fade. She's your persona. Mickey Going Crazy series by Micheal Laws. I don't know what that is, but I imagine it's like some sort of like TikTok or Vine deal. It's a montage type deal. The audio is very cute. I like this design a lot. You keep it very like muted tone-wise. Like it's all the black, whites, and grays. The only color being the yellow from her eyes, which is very striking and cute. I love this design so much. It feels like it's a lot, but you've placed the stripes especially and the solid blacks in ways that help lead your eye, you know? It doesn't feel too busy. Despite you look at it and you might think it's busy, but the way you've done it all actually works very well and very cohesively. 10 out of 10.
Hello.
What the fuck is on my head?
I don't know, like I said, I don't know where your audio comes from, but it is very funny.
I don't think writers realize that strong female character means well.
I also like that the face on her shirt emotes with her. That was something that they did in Hi Puffy Yumi. I always loved how the I don't remember which one it was. The one that had the little skull on her t-shirt, the skull would emote with her. Cute detail. I love that kind of stuff.
Well-written female character, and not just female character who punches stuff and shoots stuff.
Also, we get to see, like, their beast form, which is a fun little thing. fun little thing to just throw in there to show us that they have a beast type form.
Rent bills, rent bills, rent bills. Genshin Impact, rent bills, rent bills. If corals get stressed, they die. So if I was coral, I would be dead.
Please get this thing off my face! Stupid snow.
It's a fun little compilation. It's a fun little compilation of just showing me this person's character, this personality. It's really funny. There's so many different scenarios that you've gone with, and you've gone with so many different, like, they all play together as like this perfect glimpse of this person. So good, and I love it. It just sucks you in. It's hard to like pause to keep talking because you just want to keep seeing whatever weird little antics she's gonna get into next, you know?
While I was trying to hug all the blankets, well, let's see what happens when I start stealing your blankets away while I'm dead.
You can't change the volume of the voice in your head. Fucking try, I dare you. It's impossible, and it's really fucking with my mind. Someone hug me.
You will regret this day, human.
Do not touch me. Math more like no.
Great stuff. I don't know what to say because the audio is just fantastic, and everything she's doing with the audio, even though she's just saying random things, you know, just kind of babbling incoherently to herself. It's fun. It's really fun how you've done that, and it's a fun little compilation. Someone else did a compilation type deal, and I like both of them because it's a fun little like just snippets of their life put together. Rather than trying to find one specific audio clip that could define their whole personality, you've instead just presented us with the everyday shenanigans of the character. And I love it. It's so much fun. Fun little character, fun little animations, lots of personality, like throughout, like their expressions. Even though they're just generally happy throughout most of it, they have enough expressions to display the range that your audio is giving you. 10 out of 10. I love it. Okay, Charlie with Alex, the Witch of Pride. I am a fan of giving witches titles, like the Witch of Blank, like the Pumpkin Patch Witch, like me, Witch of Pride. Fun. Here we go. No, he is from a couple of university projects, which is interesting. Again, like I was saying, going back and doing things that you did already. I like this shirt. I like the, like, heartbeat effect on it. I like how it matches the pants. It's a simple design, keeping it just black and red. I think it all ties together very, very well. And the heartbeat design is very interesting. Like, a lot of people wouldn't go with that, but it adds enough, like, something going on here during their, like, chest area to make it more than just, like, a circle, you know, a number. It is enough personality to make it feel unique for this character in particular. You made the audio. Let's go. Yeah, this one has a lot of, like, detail with the world building. Like, there's a lot going on in this scene. You know? Also, look at these. You see this? You see these? That like, real math to figure out the perspective lines of this cross? That took some detail. There was a lot of effort that went into making this perspective shot. I like the intensity of their eyes here, too. Like, everything else about their, like, line art here feels a little fuzzy, a little fluid, to really help punch with their eyes right here. Like, you really see that. Cutting to this entirely different scene. Like, you're setting up the idea of this world really well. Like, there's clearly a history going on here. Such a simple thing. Having the phone come out of the snake's mouth, cute little detail. Like, what a, like as far as, like, world building elements, you don't get much more unique than that.
Hi, boss. Yes, I've got a case. It's fine. I'm fine. I don't need a break. I'll be okay.
There's a lot going on, but, like, I like it all. It makes me intrigued, because clearly there's a lot going on. And so I want to see more of this character. And the fact that you've chosen these few moments of mourning, of reflection, of moving forward with whatever their boss is telling them to do. It's a fascinating decision, and I really like it. So, 10 out of 10. Well done. Well done. Alright, next up it's Ed's Corner with Crystal. No, they're the protagonist of Crystal Heart, an online comic with the first chapter currently out. Oh! So if you want to read it, you should read it. The comic is pinned on their Tumblr. So check it out. That's why I included the section of your character sheets to have like social media links. So then if you do have something like this, where this is a comic and you have it posted somewhere, you could provide links to that. So go ahead, check them out. Check out all of this stuff. Original lines that you recorded yourself. So let's get into. I like this look. It's a simple design. The blue is a nice touch, and I think adding pink to it, people don't usually pair pink and blue together. They're usually framed as opposites, even though they're not. It makes them very recognizable. Like, a bit like, you know, when you see Steven Universe's star-shaped shirt, you know, that's like, oh yes, that's Steven Universe. I feel like this has very similar energy to it. Like, oh yeah, I recognize who that is. That's Crystal. So, let's dive in.
Okay, Crystal. Time to have some faith in yourself. Confidence is such a lie!
It's such a funny little moment, too. I love the, you've performed the line perfectly, also. Confidence is such a lie. I don't need to know the scenario that we're in. Like, clearly something is attacking Crystal, and they're struggling with their powers, some sort of shield ability. I don't need to know the magic, I don't need to know anything about that, because Crystal's personality is on full display there. They've done such a good job, and your performance really sells it. So 10 out of 10. I like it a lot. It's a great little moment, you know? Perfect little scenario, just to show us who they are.
Okay, Crystal, time to have some faith in yourself. Confidence is such a lie!
Great little fluidity to the motion as well. I love it. It's so good. 10 out of 10. Great little character, great little moment, great performance. I have no more notes. Next up is Blue Soul, with their Valerie Winn as their character. Hooray! Blue Soul is one of 2 siblings. We'll find Green Soul later, so keep an eye out. That'll be exciting. Original, a D&D OC turning into original story. Hooray! D&D is a great way to, like, workshop character ideas, you know? So, awesome. You've made your own audio. Let's dive in. Oh, I guess I should talk about your character design. Sorry. I keep forgetting. I keep being like, let's dive in, and then I immediately pause to be like, let's talk about your character, because I keep forgetting. Simple design. It's very cute. I like the eyes a lot. We also have a character with glasses. Not a lot of people go with glasses wearing characters. I like the color palette is simple but muted. Sometimes simple is better, you know? Not much to say here. It feels like this isn't a fantasy setting, which I appreciate. Also, overalls is a cute design that not a lot of people go with. It's an easy way to get, like, the color of their pants throughout the rest of the look, so then you can keep the shirt a lot more simpler. So it's a smart decision right there. Let's go. Doing a running animation, it was a difficult choice. Like, walking animations, people study, like, whole semesters to learn how to animate a walk cycle. And you did a running thing? I applaud your bravery. Also, I like how they have 2 different colored eyes. I forgot to mention that. I got distracted with their glasses. I like how they have 2 different colored eyes, but they're very similar. Like, they're not, like, wildly different. I know when you're giving a character heterochromia, it's easy to, like, be like, yeah, let's go really crazy with it. But I also appreciate the ones that's like, yeah, that's similar. That's a similar color palette we're going with here, you know? So, cool stuff.
Focus on getting out of here. You've escaped her before.
Showing off some superpower stuff. The setting ended up being an important element of your character's moment. So I'm glad you went the extra mile to, like, give us a unique looking setting with the purple sky and the little glowy things down where she's standing. So, a dire moment. An interesting choice to have her be in a dire moment, which is a fun because it shows us so how a character reacts to situations that are like that's like danger around, danger ahead is fun because every character will interact to the threat of danger differently. So it's fascinating that that's the decision you went with to show us. It makes me think she probably struggles with her plant magic that she's doing, but in a moment of like a dire situation, it comes a bit more easier because now she really has to force herself. That's the kind of vibe I get from it. I hope that's what you were going for. I like it a lot. It's a fun little scenario. It makes me want... You've left a lot of things, like, hidden. It makes me want to know what the danger is. Who is this she that she's referring to? The person who's after her? I love it. 10 out of 10. Alright, Disguise Zoroark with Summer. Yeah, your own story, and the audio comes from Arcane. I like the flame type deal going on here with your character sheet. I like how it's like burning away with the fire. Fun stuff. I don't know. I don't think I have to say much about this design because this is a simple but very strong design with the orange and the blacks, you know, keeping it simple, showing off dem abs. Hell yeah.
Wait.
This is a design where a lot of it's the hair. I'm gonna recognize this hairstyle over any kind of article of clothing they're gonna wear. And they're likely just gonna be wearing simple clothes because the action is the important part of this scenario, clearly. So having this unique hairstyle, this unique haircut, it's like Goku, you know? You always will recognize the look Goku has with his hairstyle, no matter what he's wearing. And it's something like that, you know?
Want to see how that ends?
A threatening little moment. Having our character threaten this person. Ooh, and she sells it. It's that stare, that cold hard stare right there. Yeah. Yes. There's a lot of going on here. It's like having just someone look angry. There's more to it, like why are they angry? How, like, and having it be a threatening type of anger is really impressive. Yes. That slight moment of seeing the realization after. That slight moment of, I don't need to be threatening anymore. So you drop the facade. Great stuff. You have so much detail in their design that I wish the person they're threatening had a little bit more detail in theirs. Specifically just like eyes to really sell their fear in the scenario, their uncertainty. But the important part was the character, you know, the original character you're presenting, and you've sold it with flying colors. 10 out of 10. Great detail. Great use of line art as well. Alright, Blair with V. Hell yeah. Nope, they're from your original book, series Moral Limbo. Interesting title. That's an intriguing title. The audio comes from Catra, from She-Ra and the Princess of Power. I like Catra. I like her voice actress. So let's dive in. Well, okay. So this is, it's all very dark. You went with a very muted color palette, which I do appreciate. The thing is, I feel like your character, I feel like they're meant to be kind of like a rogue, so hiding into the shadows, blending into the background is a part of it, and you've done that very well. But they are a little hard to see. Like, little details here and there. Like, I can't find their hands. You know, I have to really lean in and squint. So, perhaps having the background be slightly lighter, just for the shot where you're introducing me to this character, you know? It doesn't have to be throughout the whole thing. Maybe there goes the internet again, getting a little choppy chunky. We'll get back up to it. It's probably the weather. It's been real hot today. Might also be my computer. No, my computer seems fine. But yeah, it's probably the weather, you know. Let's keep going. Maybe having just like some highlights on the character here or there. Because you have a lot of shading, but having like a highlight like on their face or something on their hood to like like give a little bit more depth, that might help them stand out against the background and not feel so lost within the darkness of their color palette as much, you know? Let's go. Because like here, with this scene where they're grayed out and everything else is dark, I can see them a lot better here. So something like that, just to like help me, especially if it's a picture that's presenting the character to me, help me see them as like way more, you know?
Are you kidding? I'm just getting started. Maybe my plan won't work, but then again, maybe it already has.
Great little moment, great scene, fun personality, and then having it be like an attack, and having us be the one being attacked, the audience member. Ooh, that's like next level threatening. Like she went from being like this fun person, fun little quirky person, to suddenly this is a threat. Suddenly I'm in danger. And that's a great way of doing that. That's a great way of presenting this character to us.
It was fun distracting you though.
10 out of 10. Such a fun, flirty character. I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, my only critique was like having the background and that introduction shot be a little bit lighter, just to help me see the character better. 10 out of 10. Great character. Great stuff. Next up is Cinesloth. Tizaki. Thank you for putting that there, because I wouldn't know how to pronounce it otherwise. So yeah, if you have a fantasy name and you're like, I don't know if people will know necessarily how to pronounce this, this is a very big help and I appreciate it. So this is original work. There is no audio from this one. I know you mentioned, Cinesloth, that you had thought of doing something. You had something else going on, but then you scrapped it and did this instead. So there's no actual audio. So then you have the hard part of having just your visuals present everything without any actual audio. So it wasn't that you went against what the rules were, it's that you accidentally gave yourself hard mode, because using audio to present your character makes it a bit easier. So having it just be the visuals, you can do it, but it is a lot harder. So let's dive into what Cinesloth has. I do love that he went with full animation. Not easy, either. Like you went through a lot of little details here, and I appreciate that. You did a lot of effort with this. The hair falling down, the gripping of the cup in anger. Like there's no audio, but you're selling everything very well. Like, even just like the little sound effects of them bumping into our character, while it would have helped like flow the pacing easier, you don't need audio for these moments because the animation sells it so good. And it's such fluid, fully detailed. Look at this. And now we finally see her in her full glory. And we know it's her because of the purple outline that we had before. Look at these. Look at this. Look at all this detail with the wings and stuff. There's a lot of that's some intricacy right there. And so I see why it took you so long. You had a lot of detail to go into, and I'm very impressed that you went all out with displaying all this different detail. Like, on top of not only the intricacy of the wings, but all the lines and like the hair, the shoes, which are very cute shoes. You have the background is very detailed as well, with all the different buildings and stuff. Look at this shot. Yeah, it's crazy. You have a great sense of the action. And then I know that the metal of the wings has turned into the metal of the armor. Awesome. Awesome stuff. That's cool right there. It's a cool detail. And then this like whole destroyed, dilapidated set right here. And she does say, "Are you done?" And then she does have words. So you have given us like words to give to the character. It's just not audible. Which is the few words you've decided to include do a great job at presenting the character, specifically the flippancy of it. It's like she end up saying, "I want my drink back" or something like that. Yeah. Amethyst trailer. So good. There's enough here for a dozen drinks. Lucky. Yeah. So, fun character. Great stuff. A lot of little intricate details, and I'm very proud of you for going all out with it. I'm sorry you couldn't get any audio there. I know you wanted to. I think it's amazing regardless. All the little things, like, especially even just like that hand from before. Like the annoyance of getting bumped into, and then the anger of getting, like, knocking over the drink. There's a lot of intricate little things, and then the rest of it with the action sequence. Choosing to do an action sequence was not easy, and so I applaud you highly. You know, that was really cool. I love it, Sinisloth. Well done. Here we go. It's Coffee with Opal. Hell yeah. Nun, she's my player character in a Pathfinder game. Again, like D&D, tabletop RPG. Like I said, great resource of figuring out how to define a character. The audio is from BoJack Horseman. I've never seen BoJack Horseman. Like, I know Will Arnett voices BoJack, but this character is clearly not going to be voiced by Will Arnett. I like the design. The shawl over one shoulder is a unique choice. It could feel lopsided, but I think you've done a good job balancing it out with the sleeve on the other shoulder. The rest, like, the color palette is great. A nice, simple, yet color palette is simple, but the details are intricate, which I appreciate, and I think it's cool. So, well done. Let's dive in.
That's the thing. I don't think I believe in deep down. I kind of think all you are is...
Another heterochromia character. And then not having the shawl, we see the scar, so it still feels even. So, you've done a good job making it not feel like a lopsided design, even with or without the shawl. 10 out of 10.
Just the things that you do.
The audio, it's less the audio and more her actions. Her audio's doing fine, like giving us something for the character to say. It's more like seeing a character in a moment of minor crisis, of worry. You know, I don't know what the scene is, but see, the fact that this is the moment you've decided to present for the character tells me that moments like this are important. You know, I asked you to tell me their personality, and having this be the moment to present their personality was an interesting decision.
The thing, I don't think I believe in deep down. I kind of think all you are is just the things that...
Like a person who's filled with worry, filled with questions. There's a lot going, like, yeah, there's other things going on probably in the story, but there's also something going on inside of her. Some sort of extra detail that we're trying to work through. So, very interesting. I love the color palette. This, like, warm, sort of sunset type colors, not only with the character, but with the background itself. I love it, personally. I think it's great. It's a 10 out of 10. Well done. The clothing was made by your friend. Well, good job, friend. They've done a well done. They've done a good job. Give them a pat on the back. Give them something nice. Next up, we got Eva with Hope. They're not from a franchise. The audio comes from Genshin Impact. Voice actor of Christina Castelle. I don't know any of that. So, let's keep going. Hope is one of my oldest characters and one of my main characters of a big project of mine. She's sweet and happy, and even though she has some dark secrets, she still tries to keep a smile on her face. Nice. Let's go. Great design. Interesting. Most people who have... So we've gone with a lot of purple this time around, hasn't we? I like the gradient in the hair. Another character with heterochromia. This is like I was talking about. So, like, having, like, a pink eye, it ties into... Like, both colors of the eyes tie into colors, like, elements throughout the design. And then having this, like, dark bluish green color to offset it is an interesting choice, and I like it. It all ties together very well. You know, the browns, the pinks, and then this one offset of this bluish green to, like, help it feel a bit more cohesive from being something very different from what the others are. I like it a lot.
Even though the rain is stopped, you still need to watch out for puddles. Just like how the past stays in the memory. Long after. Oh.
Interesting little character. Interesting little design. A moment of reflection. Like, she seems like a very chipper, upbeat person, but also there's something haunting her, clearly. There's something worrying her, something clouding her thoughts. So, for her to just randomly think of that while giving someone some advice.
Sorry.
Great stuff. Fun little character, great design, great little animations. I like how, like, it's moving the staff around, giving them a prop to hold, especially one that will basically, it takes up one whole hand to use it. Having them moving it around to like help them with their expressions is a smart choice, and you've done a good job. Great, emotive, expressive, fun character. Oh boy, I believe it's pronounced Elk. I think it's pronounced Elk or Elky. I think it's Elk though. So it's from Team Fortress 2, clearly, and it's from it's a compilation of video game donkey quotes. This is the other compilation I was talking about from before. There's not much I can say about the design of the character because it's basically just the pyro. The addition of the hat makes them feel very distinct, like that. I know that like the setting of Team Fortress 2, it's basically like a war, so giving them a hat gives them a sense of authority, but having it be very casual throughout the rest of it, especially with like the gas mask, it helps make it feel fun and upbeat, you know. Let's dive in.
This ain't scary, man. This is some baby ass shit, man. This ain't scary.
Okay. I don't know what software you use to animate this. The floppy physics, the floppy ass limb physics, that's gonna make me laugh every single time. I'm just such a sucker for floppy ass physics.
Oh my fucking god, did you hear that? I'm gonna get killed by a zombie. This is the scariest game in the
just shush from...
That's the thing about doing like a fan animation. Like, major studios would never let you get away with having your character's whole limbs flopping around with like zero bone physics in there. So something about this where you can just go ham, and that's part of the joke. You know, the floppiness of their limbs to lead into the seriousness of them getting scared, and then they're stiff and rigid. That's very good joke material right there.
For a minute, I'm gonna put this on my YouTube channel. Fortnite, triple kill, Jake Paul.
See how this skeleton has a helmet on? That's how you know he was in the army. Let me ask you something.
It's also just great audio clips you've gone with. You've done a good job finding ones that fit the world of Team Fortress 2 as best you could. Fun stuff. Fun, quirky, great comedy. It's the slow zoom in every now and then. That's a fun element for design, for doing comedy.
Do you like to watch Spider-Man movies? Kid Kayla's in here? This guy hates Spider-Man.
But what do you mean I hate Spider-Man? Believe me, I'm not an imposter!
That's what you told Spider-Man right after you killed him.
And then cutting to this.
Wait a minute, I'm a genius. I just put this on. The guards see me, they go, oh, that's just some black guy.
This is Heather speaking.
Skyrim remastered? Come on, Nintendo. What do you think you're pulling here?
Donkey, what are you doing calling here?
Oh, shit.
Great submission. Very funny. Good emphasis. Like, great grasp on comedy, on animation comedy. You have you have it nailed. I like how you go with, like, a lot of different... Like, you say it's in Team Fortress 2, but then you also have a Splatoon girl showing up at the end there. So, it's not necessarily Team Fortress 2. But I appreciate it because the randomness adds to the humor, because not knowing what to expect is a part of comedy. And you've done a very good job with it. I don't want to, like, sit here and overly talk about it, because the moment you explain a joke, it's not funny anymore. But you have a very good grasp on the fluidity of a comedic moment. So, well done. 10 out of 10. Alright, we got another 5 Nights at Freddy's character with Sally the Sailor from E. Simpson. Sally is fun. So, okay, Sally is a cat. It's your voice with editing, which I can tell. You've done a very good job with your voice acting. So Sally seems to be a cat-type character. Clearly broken down, which makes sense. It's Sally the Sailor Cat. No shit. I think it's a cat character. Nah, I just need to read. So I knew Sally's a cat. So sailor. The only thing that implies a sailor is the bit of a sailor, like the collar right here. If we're going to go with the sailor route, I wish we had a little bit more. But I know you're also going with this dilapidated design. So I could suggest, like, put like a sailor hat on Sally. But... you know, if they're being torn down, they might not have that. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. I think keeping it as the collar is smart, because that does sell the idea. It's just in certain shots, it's hard to see the collar. So the sailor element might get lost. If you're going with the sailor, you know, it's something you could do, and like it could lean into the dilapidated nature of the character. Cut off this leg and make it a peg leg instead, you know? That's more pirate, but it might lean into the idea, and it might be a fun way to play with the design of the character. You know, maybe it's not meant to be a peg leg, but the way how it's been torn down, now it looks like a peg leg, or something like that. Just spitballing, you don't necessarily need to, just throwing it out there. Let's go. I like how you went with a weird aspect ratio for it. Like, it looks like found footage, and that's smart. You do a good job building tension here in this moment. That's something I've been thinking about a lot with horror recently. I've been studying horror movies recently. A good way to do horror is to build tension. And to build like you're waiting for something to happen. And I know going into this video that we're going to meet Sally. So waiting for us to get there is a good way of building it up. So I think you've done a good job having this opening sequence be, it feels like it's a little too long, which is good because it's building that tension because I'm just waiting to see the character. So good job with that. There she is. So, because you've done this editing effect, like this found footage effect, some of the detail is lost just because of like the oversaturated nature of it. I think it works very well, you know? It makes it, not only does it match the found footage type deal that you got going on here, but also it gives it a bit of like a creepy retro vibe that really fits with Five Nights at Freddy's. My only critique is, because of the color palette now, with how it looks in this, the sailor element that I was talking about before is even harder to see. The blue is nearly impossible to notice, and the red of their bow is just blending into the red of their design. An easy way to do that is to make the collar bigger, but I would also suggest just making it a brighter shade of blue. And maybe making the bow a different color than red. Maybe, like red is a good one, maybe like a more purple or a more pink color, just to slightly stand out against, if you're going to keep up with this aesthetic of the found footage type of style. Thank you so much, Mar, my animation outlet. Ayo, what's all this? Late to the party, animation contest, this looks fun. Mayhaps I'll participate in the next one. How often do you do these? The next one will be next year, so it'll be around summer when I do this again. So I hope I'll see you there. You know, we had 130 submissions this time, so let's see how many more we get next time. Let's keep going with Sally.
Hello? What are you doing here?
When we get closer, it's a bit easier to see, but also it's very dark. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if people didn't even notice that they're wearing the sailor outfit. I'm harping on it so much because it's a fun element for this character. You know, a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics don't have a gimmick around them, and when they do, it's fun to go ham with that gimmick. So I'm just saying, you have a smart, fun idea, like a cat that's a sailor. That's funny because pirates, not pirates. Well, yes, but pirates also. But sailors in general would bring cats on board ships because they thought they would ward off bad weather. But also there's the stigma that cats are afraid of water. It's a very fun gimmick you have here. It's a very fun design, and I just want to see you pushing it. You know, like going even further with this because it's so much fun. I like your voice acting. You're a little quiet. A lot of people, I'm not gonna harp on like the audio, like the how loud or quiet people's audio is, because audio mixing is an entirely different beast than animation. Like that, like whole people get like whole degrees just for audio mixing, and it is not easy. So I'm not gonna harp on it. Just saying. I do like it's a fun submission. Great stuff. I love Sally. I harp on it because I want to see you push it even more because I have a lot of fun with it. 10 out of 10. Great stuff. Alrighty. Next up, we got Excalibur. Woo, it's Excalibur with Jasmine and Sentinel Guardians of Hope, which is a working title. Your own original story. But the audio comes from Transformers 2007 and it's Megatron's voices. Let's dive in. This is another one I was talking about with like, having a watermark. I don't mind it. If you didn't like, I know movie editors especially, this is something I saw a lot when I was going to university. So even kids who are going to university specifically to edit together movies had stuff going on like this. So don't feel bad about it. You know, it happens to everybody. Thank you, Excalibur. Hey, Critter. I hope you like my submission. Screams internally because watermark. Fun fact, my character is based on IDW1 Megatron. I don't know what that... I know who Megatron is. I don't know the specifics of what you've said. I like your character a lot. I like the purple. Like, we've been throwing around a lot of purple today. It's been a purple day, hasn't it? Black and red do look great together. The purple is a nice element to cut through it a little bit, you know? Give it a little bit more going on with the design that also brightens it up a little bit more. I would actually have to see the purple incorporated into other aspects, not in, like, great detail, maybe just like how the bottom of her shoes is red. It could be that purple instead, you know? Just a little bit to, like, tie it all together. Let's get into it.
Is it fear or courage that compels you? Give me the Allspark, you mean?
So much fun. So, is it fear or courage that compels you? That alone, it's a great line, great dialogue, and because you look at this character, because she's rather cute. It's a cute character. And it's like, oh, you know, I wonder what they're like. And then, is it fear or courage that compels you? And then everything's burning, and they look very confident. It's like, oh, I understand now. It's a very fun take on someone who I believe to be a villainous character. I think it's 10 out of 10. Don't worry about your audio mixing. It's not bad. Don't worry about it. Audio's hard. Audio mixing is hard.
Live to be my pet. Oh, so unwise. Come here, little cretin. You want a piece of me? You want a piece? No! I want two!
Fun. Also, okay, so doing a playful villain isn't always easy. It's hard to find audio like this. You want a piece of me? No, I want two. Cutting them in half. Fun stuff. The way you've done the, like, action element of it is a fun choreography here. I like it a lot. It's I don't know what the context of the scene is going to be, you know? I don't know how we got here, don't know who we're fighting, but what a fascinating and interesting villain to be fighting here. What a threat. Immediately chop this person in half also, with a smile on their face and everything. 10 out of 10, great submission. I love it, Excalibur. Don't you worry. Don't you even worry about it. Audio mixing is hard, and I had a lot of fun with your submission. Thank you so much also for your super chat. Well done. Next up is Fatima with Omisha. I believe it's pronounced Omisha. Goddess of Time and Death. Which, that alone, let's talk about that. Goddess of Time and Death. Like, one on their own would have been badass enough. Having it be both, it makes sense though, because as time passes, you die. So, it makes sense, but like that title is like, oh, there's some weight going on here. And I like how you've incorporated, like, the clock element here. I don't see death in her design, but I don't think I need to. Time alone implies death. You know, once you put two and two together. And I like the amount of blue. Usually when we do, like, especially with a death type character, we tend to stay with, like, red or black or gray. You know, it's very typical with a death type look. Having it be blue, which I feel like it incorporates the idea of time, but also, like, space. Like, this feels like almost like galaxy-esque. And there's a bigness to the character. Also, her waistband being like the hand of a clock is very cute and very smart, which I like it a lot. The gold in the eyes and simple gold accents here and there really help tie it all together and also gives her a bit of a godlike feeling. You know, gold tends to be associated with things with power. I believe it's your own original character, and it's Blue Diamond from Steven Universe, which is great. Let's dive in.
How curious. You do? I'm surprised that a human being is capable of understanding how I feel.
I'm glad you've gone with such a good scene to emphasize how huge this character is. You know, have this small mortal the size of your eye, you know? and the curiosity of her, because she's a goddess of time and death, and, you know, being curious to see something so small and simple attempt to step into her world. Blue Diamond was a very good choice to emphasize that idea, and I like it a lot. It gives, having a god-type character, they often tend to feel, like, above it all, and giving them a personality like this is a very fun and refreshing take that I love to see. It's a simple submission, a lot of great interesting details, but I love it a lot. 10 out of 10. Alright, moving on to Felicity with I believe it's pronounced Aisling? Again, if I'm wrong, yell at me in the comments. Nope, she's from my work in progress book, Aisling Maze of Fey. Maze of Fey. Interesting title. The Fey alone makes me intrigued as to what is happening within this maze. The audio comes from Willow from the Owl House. I've not seen the Owl House, so I don't know who that is. Let's dive. I like this design a lot. Black and purple look great together. The simplicity of the poncho type, like, shawl she's wearing, I like it a lot. It gives her a very distinct shape. A bit of an amorphous shape that we don't always see, but you have enough intricate details to, like, you could get away with it. Like, it feels like it encompasses her whole design and kind of takes away some defining features of, like, her body shape, but giving her legs, having them stand out, and having this distinct hair curls helps pull it all together. So she doesn't feel like she would still have a distinct silhouette, you know? Well done. Let's dive in.
Hello? Gus? Hunter? Gus? I can do this. I can do this.
I love the, like, flicker effect. It's, again, with the aspect ratio. I love it seeing you guys play around with, like, styles like this. It's fun. Fascinating choice of a character in Crisis again. We talked about this earlier, but yeah, someone... Aisling. Okay. Again, a moment where a character is struggling seemingly to not... I think it's related to their powers. I think these are the Fae that we talked about within the Maze of Fae. Fun stuff. Interesting to see a character in Crisis and see how they face a dilemma.
I can't do this. Why have I been trying to be someone different? Boss is right. I'll always just be half a witch willow.
And seeing them perhaps lose another darker side to them, another aspect of them that they have room to grow, which is fun. I like it a lot. It's a simple scene, but you've done a very good job with it. I like how much the camera moves around throughout her little sequence there, because it really shows like she can't keep up with it all. So it helps display the she's overwhelmed with it. I like it. I like it a lot. Well done. 10 out of 10. Next up, Finbar with Nightmare. Fun fact, this was the first submission. Nightmare was the very first one. I think it was the day after. I was impressed with the speed that Finbar worked with. Well done. Very interesting. Nightmare comes from a shared multi-fandom universe called Tales of the Realm, which I don't know what a shared multiverse fandom is, but that sounds like a very fun thing. Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go, which I have not seen. I remember it. Never watched it. Fun stuff. I like the look of Nightmare. This background is very dark. It's a little hard to see Nightmare, but it really displays the red of the eyes and then their, like, stomach type part right here. So you brought the perfect emphasis to the parts you wanted to give emphasis to. You know, that was what you were trying to do. I can see it. Like, I can see their ears, I can see their legs, I can see their design. I wish the back, like, maybe like a slight glow around the character just to help them stand out a little bit more, just because it is very dark and then the background is also very dark. But little things, let's get into it.
There are forces in the universe beyond your imagination, hero. We are but pawns in a universal game of good versus evil.
Fun stuff. What a great submission. You know,
there are four.
Despite having a very simplistic face, like, they don't always have a mouth. it's mostly just their eyes, but you've done so much to display the range of emotion throughout with their eyes and how they move around. The slight motions you have.
Your imagination, hero. We are but pawns in a universal game of good versus...
I like the eye roll. That's a really nice touch. And I like how their eyes glow blue when they're talking about good versus evil, almost mockingly. I like that. There's a lot of little details here. But also, I just like the stomach thing that goes on. That's a part of the character that I didn't expect at first. And so, using not only this to display the evil at the end of their sentence, but also displays this specific evil. Like, their evil. The bad things that they have going on. So, I love this submission. A lot of cool, intricate little details, which was difficult for a character that doesn't necessarily have the most defined face. So 10 out of 10, good job. Next up, Galaxy Winter with M. Yeah, it's none from my own original story. Audio comes from Owl House. Again, I haven't seen Owl House, so I like M a lot. I like this background you got going on here. Like, even though it's very similar color palette-wise to her design, it's the little extra little sparkles and stuff going on helped keep them distinct from each other. So the one stocking is an interesting choice. I think it works. I wish this shade of pink and the shade of teal was somewhere else in the design. Specifically the jacket. Because her hair color, eye color, jacket, and then her, like, uniform that she's wearing here, a little samey in terms of color palette. And so I think if you incorporated these two from her stockings into somewhere up here, I think it would work really, really well. And it doesn't need to be something big. Maybe like a star on the sleeve right here. Or like a pin in her hair. Something like that. Something really small just to like get this like a little tied together and also break up the like amount of purple that's all like very top heavy with her. Something very simple. Let's get into it. Oh, hold on. It's very quiet. I can't hear it. One second.
He's so cute. Who's the little guy? Who's the little guy? Is it you? Is it you?
Cute stuff. All facial expressions, which is difficult. I like what you went with, like having her gushing over something that's small and cute. It displays the idea of the character very well, you know? Like, it doesn't always need to be something big and extravagant going on, just gushing over some cute thing. And you see, like, a big range of emotion with her face here, how her eyes move and her mouth moves. So, well done. If I had any critique, I would say this side of the screen feels a little empty. Could we do something with this side of the screen? Not necessarily. We don't need to. Maybe just, like, position her slightly more, like, off-center, so it feels a little bit more, like, centered framed. But that's a minor detail. Cute stuff, cute character, 10 out of 10. Next up, Fiamma? I think it's Fiamma, with Kinnick. The Legend of Korra appears post-book 4, so an original character there. The Owl House, Season 2, Episodes 1 and 13, courtesy of Hunter. Nice. Part of the new generation of airbenders, became a secret project for his grandpa, a renowned scholar concerning bending. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. I'm glad you didn't need to tell me airbender. If I looked at it, I would have figured it out, because the yellow is the airbender color that's associated with airbending, but the yellow eyes is a nice touch, but the yellow incorporated. Making black the other accent color throughout gives us this like, ooh, that's a threat. Because the other accents with airbenders tend to be orange, making it black, which is usually a color that is often associated with villains in series, especially the Avatar franchise. Like, the Fire Nation had a lot of black incorporated in their design. A lot of Korra's, Legend of Korra, a lot of Korra's villains had blacks in their designs. So, like, right off the bat, I'm like, ooh, airbender. Ooh, there's something going on with this airbender. They're not the same as our normal type of airbenders. So let's get into it. And then, like, the little transition. I like the transition. It's a nice touch. You got the airbender logo on their cape. I like how the cape utilizes blue. Blue is like another thing often associated with the Avatar, not just airbending, but it matches the airbending style, because the wind tends to look blue in their animation style. The arrow, it feels almost like a mocking rendition of the Avatar, isn't it? You know? Like having this mask with the airbend rather than being a tattoo. I like it. It's cool. It's like a reimagining of it, like redefining what airbending is, and I think it's cool. You thought orange is the airbender color? Yeah, it's orange and yellow. You know, they're close enough. It's basically the same.
You're making this difficult.
Having your character be strong enough to blast away Janora, one of the strongest characters. Setting up a lot of high standards for your character. Ooh, that's another thing you can do. If you're having a fight sequence, and you can incorporate a character that we do recognize, like if you're working with a pre-existing franchise, like I know how strong Janora is, for example, here. Having your character beat Janora establishes to me how strong your character is, and like other characters that you can play with, or how weak your character is compared to other characters. That's a great way of playing around with this concept.
Yeah, this would usually look cooler with the cloak, but I don't have it at the moment. Long story.
Nice, fun, playful attitude. Like, strong enough to beat Janora, but also playful enough to have, like, a little bit of banter with her. I like it. It's fun. I don't know if they're a bad guy in this setting. I feel like they're probably different. They're definitely going against something that our main heroes would be going for, since he's fighting Janora, obviously. Fun stuff. I really like it. It's an intriguing concept. I think the world of Korra is a fun one to play around with, and I like the ideas you've got going on here. 10 out of 10. Next up, FR, I believe is how you pronounce this, with Nyx Fanimaxin. Nyx Fanimaxin. The fantasy names. Nope, he's my virtual representation. I don't know what Janji Joni is, but that's where the audio clip comes from. Nice design. A bit basic, you know, but, you know, I think there's strength and simplicity. Keeping the hair and the cloak color, like the jacket, basically the same shades of blue. Skin tone and this color from their coat is really similar, but I feel like that was kind of the point. There's a bit of a cold feel. The black from the back of the hood ties into the black of the pants. It's very balanced. It's a good balanced design. I feel like there's room to like play around with more accessories, but you don't always need a bunch of accessories. So, let's dive in. I like the lighting with the camera, or the candle, the flame.
Lu mau dibakar orang? Pernah dengar gak sih 5 orang mati dibakar di terminal cuma gara-gara diteriakin maling?
Gue punya pekerjaan, dan gue harus berani ngambil resiko untuk itu.
Lots of simple stuff, but very strong with their simplicity, you know?
Tunggu dulu. Kita harus cepet-cepet ngambil tas gue.
Like, looking a little bit, like they look guilty. Like, whatever it is that's gone awry, they know they were a part of it, or at least they wish they could do something to stop it. Maybe they weren't directly a part of it. Fun stuff. Having it be 3D, you know, faces in 3D are a lot harder. I guess harder isn't the right word. They're very different to anime. And you go through a lot. I think the slight head motions really help, like looking away, closing their eyes momentarily, like a moment of thought, of reflection, of regret, of guilt. A lot going on here, you know? I like how once they light their flame, they kind of like look at it a little bit, like lift it in their hands and they look at it slightly and then blow it out. Giving a character a prop is a great way to play around with what they're doing, especially if you think the scene is a bit too simple. So, I like this. I like this warm orange lighting on the whole scene in general, too. It's a nice...
Gue punya pekerjaan, dan gue harus berani ngambil resiko untuk itu.
Nice stuff. Like it a lot. 10 out of 10. Well done. Next up, Gamers with Meep. Technically not real yet, Fallen Angels, so their own original thing. The audio comes from Fairly Odd Parents. Fairly Odd Parents. I know it's a fun audio that they picked. I like this design. I like how you're going with sunrise colors for the wings. They're clearly some sort of angel type character. I like how it all ties together. Like, you're going with the yellows and the pinks. The blue of the pants it stands out a lot, but I think in a good way. So, well done. I also like how the yellow of the halo isn't the same color as the yellow of the shirt or the yellow of their hair. I know you're using some sort of gacha animator type deal to make this character, so I don't know if you had a lot of, like, options with some of these colors, but with what you had, I think you've done a good job pairing colors that look good together, but don't feel too busy, you know? It's not too samey, but it's not too busy. I think their arms feel a little bit much, though, you know? We don't need quite as many details. Funny audio clip. It tells me how dramatic your character is. It's a cute one. I like it a lot. I want to know more about the two other characters that you have here, just because they're also very pivotal to the audio clip that you've picked. It's fun stuff. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more, slightly longer, but also I understand because of the audio clip you picked, that's where it ends. So I like it a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. I would love to see you pushing it even more. That's the thing. You've done good so far. See what more you can do from here. Continue to strive to get better and move forward. So, 10 out of 10, fun stuff. Next up, it's Green Soul. I told you. This is the other one. This is the other sibling. Green Soul, yeah. Their character, Azkinn, OC. No, it's from my comic, The Role of a Reaper. Nice. Different story. I like that. Made your own audio. I like that too. So this design, I like the fade into blue. It's a simple way to imply ghost, but you've done it very well. I like how it's very slight, just at the very bottom. So we still get all the rest of the design incorporated throughout. I like the unique skin tone with the because it looks good with the black of the majority of the outfit. The amount of white you have does a good job framing their face, but it's enough to make them distinct, but it's not busy. It's a simple design on purpose, and I think you've done a very good job with this. Also, tying the blue from like their fade effect back up here with this little part right here brings it all together really well. Let's take a look.
In the forest.
Oh, hold on. Let me turn up the audio because it's a little bit quiet. 1 second.
I didn't defeat many monsters before I fell. All this time, I thought I was improving, but I was wrong.
That hand animation. Hands are hard, and I'm proud of you. That was hard. Yeah, it's a nice, similar. I like it a lot. There's a moment where a character has failed is a unique choice to show that they have more room to grow. There's a lot of implication with their audio here. Like, I thought I was improving, but I guess not. I wish I knew the context of what these things are going on around us, because I feel like there's a story here. This is happening at the end of a part of a story that I missed, you know? It's a great one. Having a character, like, shrink in on themselves is a fascinating way to display your character. 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, having your character shrink in on themselves. Great way to display your character. To show that they want more, but they're currently feeling like less. So, fun stuff. I liked it a lot. I like the simplicity of the setting. I don't quite understand what's going on, but I like it. Alright, let's keep going.
But I was wrong.
Oh, okay. Thanks for saying ew. Yep, everyone should drink water. I'm choking on, like, pollen and stuff. Alright, Isabot with blue. My webcomic, I barely add to it. Across the Way, nice. With Rainbow Dash as your audio. Rainbow Dash is a great choice. I think My Little Pony in general. Sorry. My throat, sorry. I think My Little Pony in general is a great place to find audio clips for moments like this, you know? All the characters are very distinct, and they really ham up their personalities, because it's only, like, 4 women voicing all the different girls. So they really, like, push their personalities a lot with their audio, especially because they're horses, and horses, you know, they don't always emote that much. So I think Rainbow Dash is a fun choice. I like the look of your character. The red shoes is a fascinating punch of color. If they weren't holding the gun, I feel like the red shoes might be a little bit distracting, but not in a bad way. You know, if you wanted to make it feel just slightly more like balanced, maybe like a red, like this like smiley face, make that red as well. I don't think it's necessary though. I think keeping the shoes red, but not having it balanced throughout the rest of the design is kind of a part of it that you're going for. So I appreciate it. I like it a lot.
I'm proud of you. You know that? You're facing your fears head on. Just like I always did as a kid. I mean, look. A 400-foot vertical drop right into these loop-de-loops and a corkscrew?
A simple moment, but you've gone so all out with the amount of expressions they have, which is great. Like, it's a fun, like, you punchy way of displaying the amount of what she's talking about. Because you could have just had her just sit here and move like once or twice. You've had her roll her eyes, do like a 400-foot drop thing with her hands. There are a lot of extra little details that you didn't have to do, but I appreciate it. It makes a bounciness to the character. Makes them feel more alive and more enigmatic and energetic.
You're probably super nervous about that, I bet.
Fun stuff. So fun. So cute. A lot of fun, quick little expressions that really help elevate the moment, which feels like such a simple moment, but the way you've done it, you really sell the character and like their mounting worry as they're realizing just how high they're going. Fun stuff. So great. 10 out of 10. Alright, Gideon with a dark. It's a Ruby OC. I created myself using the voice recorder I flip a clip. Nice. So, your character is a bit simplistic here. I don't know what much to say. I like conceptually parts of this. The red eyes is very unique. There's elements here that I think you could play around with more if you did a little bit of extra defining here. It's hard to comment on something that's more simplistic. And you've gone with a very simplistic design here. But it's not bad. It's very striking for sure. Okay, so, this is one thing. You've gone with a stick figure style for your animation. I'm totally fine with this. You've gone with, like, a bit of an action sequence where Dark is fighting Blake. I'm glad you labeled Blake, because I wouldn't have known otherwise. I feel like, if you wanted to really push this animation further, have one of us, if you wanted to just be the stick figure style, which is totally acceptable, if you wanted to do this, I say, make one of them a different color. Like, Dark had red eyes, make Dark's line art red, you know? So, just so then when they flip around each other and they're fighting, it's easier to keep track of who is who, you know? Because having them both have black line art, when you're going very simplistic, it gets a little easy to get lost. Simple little changes, and color is the easiest way to do that. So, keep Blake black, make Dark red, or keep Dark black and make Blake purple. That would have done... That's my biggest advice for this.
Yeah. Oof. Wait, where did she... Oh. Yeah.
So, yep. A neat little scene where two people are using their own shadow clones to trick each other. Interesting choices. It's not bad. You know, just that one thing, you know, make the colors different to help differentiate them. Specifically when he lands on top of Blake, and it's like, make one of them, make her purple so that I could tell them apart in that moment. Other than that, fun stuff. Let's keep going. Next up, oh boy, it's Waltz. Look at this great big lion man, Geo, doing God's work with these abs. Oh yeah! From my own future stories, nice. You've provided you provided a link to where your audio comes from. Nice, cool, thank you. Let's dive. It's a great design. I'm a very big fan of lions and lion designs just in general. I think adding a wide-brimmed hat, like this kind of cowboy-looking style right here, works really well. I like the black mane. It also works, the black mane ties into the other black accents, like the hat and the coat very well, and then using red to, like, accent the rest of it, I think it's very nice. It all, like, cuts together very well right here.
What a monster I have become. You don't want me to be a monster right here in your nice port, do you?
Nice, cool, yeah, nice. Fun little moment of showing off your strength, of threatening someone. You've gone through a wider range of emotions, which I didn't think you needed to, but I'm glad you did, because he's just threatening someone. He could have just been this amount of confidence throughout the whole thing. But the fact that you had him faux this moment of what a monster I've become. Like, basically, like, playing into the idea of tricking us momentarily, to then lean harder into the threat afterwards. Fun stuff. Fun little punch right there. Great audio clip. Nice, amazing design. Cutting it down to just the line art so I could see, like, the locks of hair is a really nice touch. I like it a lot. 10 out of 10. Fun stuff. Also, yeah, very smooth animation. Very nice little, like, extra details going on here. Love it a lot.
Let us pass.
Awesome work. Next up, Goya with Drusilla, I think is how you pronounce it. When I see two L's next to each other, like, I took Spanish classes, and so I always want to make it a Y noise, like Drusilla, like how you would do with Spanish. But I believe it's Drusilla. So, if I'm wrong, correct me, yell at me. It's a One Piece character. I haven't seen One Piece. I know of One Piece, and it's impossible not to, but I don't know the intricacies of the characters and stuff, but this is fun. Daki from Demon Slayer. Nice. I also haven't seen Demon Slayer. I love the design. I love, like, it's a nice, cool, kind of, like, current take on a vampire, with the flowiness of the shirt, but also, like, the more tight pants. It's a fun look. You sell the colors, because we are farther away from them, because we get a nice, large, full shot of the character. The colors don't get busy. You know, they're very well defined, and the piercing eyes really stand out, which is really great. Nice touch. Also, I like the shape of the sword. Look at all the intricacies of that, like the hair curls. Oh my god. All these, like, scars on her face and stuff. Those little extra details, like, I know what a pain it is to draw these ones over and over and over again, but it really helps, like, give your character, like, emphasis. Like, it defines them. Makes them stand out a lot. Also, this cracked mirror is a great touch. And then you had to draw around the crack in the mirror. Oh, like, this tells me so much about this character. Having a cracked mirror, like, clearly something happened and she punched this mirror, you know? That's how cracks in mirrors happen. And that tells me a lot about the character in general. Yeah, I was gonna have, like, a little mini example, but I think this does a great job defining it already. That big vampire smile, I love to see it. Nice. It's a great little moment. Great little moment of putting on makeup. Nice little threatening. Having us seeing her reflection basically through her eyes is a great touch. Shows a vanity to the character, which is a great detail. 10 out of 10. I love it so much. So much fun. Like I said, having the break in the mirror implies there's a violence to the character, because she probably punched it for some reason. Maybe something about her appearance that she didn't like. Great stuff. There's a lot of implications with the character, and a lot of it is in the design alone. What she's actually... And then, like, the threatening tone to her voice. You know, well done. A lot of fun stuff. Let's keep going. Iva with Jasper. Hellish, which is your own series, and your audio comes from Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series. Fun stuff. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series. I like this design a lot. It feels very split in half, but intentionally done so. It ties itself together by having the yellow, like, incorporated through certain accents, and then the purple also throughout. You know, despite at a glance, it feels very split. Having all the details tie it together makes that split feel like a very intentional decision. Maybe, in fact, a decision that is relevant to your series or the character. You know, if it's hellish, maybe they're only half demon, you know? Maybe that's what you're implying here. Fun, I love it. Also heterochromia, just further implying that split. There's nothing symmetrical with this character. With the braid on one side, this little detail here, that little, like, armband here. I like how much duality you have here, which I feel like was very intentional. Awesome. Let's get into it.
Give me back my partner right now, or I will rip him off that wall and beat you senseless with him.
Fun stuff. Fun clip you've gone with. I like how you took a clip that was very comedic in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series, and you've taken it in a very serious direction. You know, stripping away the comedy of the moment really highlights the severity of it. I'm absolutely right? Hell yeah! It's your design. You've done it. You nailed it. You did that. Applaud yourself. Give yourself an applaud right now. Hooray. Yeah, I like how you've taken the humor of the moment and instead made it very serious and dramatic, which is a very fun thing to do. And I'm amazed you found a great audio clip that like hammered that home. Fun stuff. Very fun character, fun implications with the story and their design, and I want to know what it is that got them all heated and stuff, you know? 10 out of 10. Awesome. Next up, we got Gemstone Productions with Pinky. Well, technically, it's based on the Pac-Man ghosts. I guess that. So I guess that, and you've done the audio yourself. Cute. Punchy. Cute little design. A way to take Pinky, you know, the Pac-Man ghost, and incorporate the ideas of it into an entirely unique concept. The bunny-type ears aesthetic is really cute. They got this just this round style. I like how you kept it very basic color-wise. It's just the eye color, you know, same thing, the pink, and then white to accent it. White and black. White and black are good neutrals to like if you really want a specific color to be the important part, white and black are a great way to do that. So our character is Pinky, we want the pink to stand out. White and black is a great choice to like hammer that home. Also, yeah, and then they drew this like little, it goes by so fast, I don't know if I'll pause fast enough to show you. They drew this little like fan art of me, which is so cute. Look at me! Oh my god! You got such a cute, fluid, fluffy style, and I love it. It's really sweet. Also, thank you for this. This whole little like blurb you have here is very sweet. I made sure to keep this part in because I liked your little blurb here. Great audio. You've done the audio yourself. I like the effect you put on it to give it the sort of ethereal echo that a ghost would have. Your audio, like the things she's saying, is very fun. Like when I think of Pinky, I never expected like the character to be like this, but having her be like obsessive, like ooh, I want to hug you, you're so cute, is a fun direction for the character. And like the like hugging motion she does when she talks is such a cute little touch. It's such a nice little detail to give some more motion to the moment, because she's just like talking at us. So having this little extra bit of motion is a nice touch without having her be like exaggerated, you know? It's a simple little one, but it's a strong one. There's strength and simplicity, and that's a very good like design you've gone with. Like the turn, the animation's really fluid and smooth. So 10 out of 10, fantastic stuff. I love it a lot. Great design, great character, great voice work, well done. 10 out of 10. Next up, Hades from Calypso, or Hades named Calypso from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Fun stuff. The audio comes from I don't know what any of this means. This is where the audio comes from, if you know what it is. Awesome. Very dynamic little, like, color, like, splash art thing you got going on here in the background of the character sheet. Fire Emblem Three Houses is an interesting choice. At a glance, I'm not sure which house they would be in, but I feel like Black Eagles. I like the green. The green and the orange are like technically they're on opposite ends of the color wheel, so having them paired together means they also complement each other. So they make each other pop, and I think having only his hair be green helps in this scenario, because it feels like you might think have some of this green be somewhere else in the design to tie it all together. I think it would just be distracting, because they're already opposites. They already lean into each other. Having the blacks intercut throughout this design and other, like, the lighter shades of orange already bring my eye to his face. So it's a well done design, very intricate, which makes sense with Fire Emblem. So fun stuff. Let's get into it. Just gonna say, laughing animation is hard to do, and I'm impressed that you've done it. It sounds easy, you know? It sounds simple. Laughing in general feels like something that should be simple, but a lot of people struggle with it. So, well done. Well done. The shoulders and, like, the wiping away the tears, well done. That's a nice, simple touch that really hammers it home.
What is it? Hey, what's so funny? Let me guess, you've got the kotatsu ready to go and you're trying to hide it from me.
Oh! Ouran High School Host Club. That's what it was. That's what your acronym was. I figured it out. I got it. Never mind. I know what the audio is from.
It's not all about you know. Kotatsu are only used in the winter. So if you want to sit under one, you'll have to wait until then. Now would you quit being a dumbass?
Oh man, your face, it looks evil. So you're finally showing your true colors.
Fun little moment. Fun stuff. I love the audio. I love the clip you picked. Great clip. Kiyoya's a great audio, I think that's his name. Great choice for this type of personality. It's interesting you picked this one because it's a moment of actual joy, which he doesn't display much within the show. So I'm impressed you found the one part where he was actually laughing. It does a great job displaying your character, who is usually, like, right off the bat, I know your character is usually very stern and serious, but there are moments where they can be just filled with joy and can laugh and have fun. Also, having the other character that they're talking to in this scenario, the one who would be Tamaki's voice, helps to present more of this character. Specifically when he says, "Whoa, your face looks evil," when he's just smiling. It's another way of, like, implying that this is usually a very serious character, but there is moments where they do look happy. They're just a naturally scary looking guy. 10 out of 10, fun stuff. Also like how you kept their eyes yellow for your animation here.
It looks evil. So you're finally showing your true colors.
Just add just a little bit of color to it all, you know? Next up, Isaiah with Agent Shimo, I believe? Shimo, definitely Shimo. From Your Own Story, Emery Silverstar. Audio comes from Sonic the Hedgehog. Shadow's final cutscene. Great choice. Fun stuff. I'm a big... despite the fact not knowing how to pronounce Rogue's name earlier, I am in fact a big fan of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. So, I love... you have shown me several different character designs over the years. And you have a very good sense of style. Like, you know what you're doing. The blue is perfectly, like, layered throughout. So it doesn't feel like it's too busy, but it ties the whole look together. I like how it's yellow accents, but also matching, like, shape-wise. It's all this diamond. It's all this diamond shape that ties it all together really well. So, nice fluidity to the cape motion that we got going on here. And then the white hair ties it all together with the rest of the whites throughout the look. It's a nice, tight design. So well done. Let's get into it.
The world will betray you.
I like the idea of some threat. You know, you've clearly put the detail into your character. And I know you said you wished you could have done more throughout, but I like how you kept the focus on your character, but also gave whatever their adversary is enough detail to make me realize, oh, this thing is a threat.
Why fight at all? Why risk your life for those who will persecute you later? If the world chooses to become my enemy.
Again, like I was saying, having the diamonds, like, continue throughout with the design in their eyes. Great touch. Nice little touch.
I will fight like I always have.
This is a fun way, because I know, because it's basically like an animatic style, but you've only drawn 1 or 2 pictures, but you've given us the emphasis on different parts of their body, like zooming in on different parts of the picture, to imply the build-up of their power, which is a smart way of, like, cutting corners where you can. If you can cut corners, do it. Work smarter, not harder, you know? You don't need to, like, push yourself to do a million different things. You can just, like something like this works. And it sells it, and it's easier on you. So, smart decision. Motion to it with how you've done it. I also like how you've given our little dragon dude a bit of some color in here as well. Orange also is a good, like, opposite to the blue to help emphasize, like, that's our adversary. Like, it's an opposite of the blue of our character, so clearly that's our bad guy. If you couldn't tell already. Great motion with the water. It's a fun one. I know you said you wanted to do a lot more than what you were able to put out. I think you've done a really good job already. So, playing around with little things here and there, I think you got this. Maybe, if I'm gonna, because you've filmed it, you've taken, like, pictures of your art. A suggestion I have would be, and I know it's easier said than done, but having more lighting in your room to, like, better illuminate your picture better. Just so, like there wouldn't be so many shadows here or there. Also, try to film head on rather than at an angle. I know it's difficult. I know, I've been there. These things I'm saying are much easier said than done, but, you know, play around with it, you know? See what things you can come up with. Something Allison used to do. When Allison did her artwork, she would, like, put her picture on the floor and she would stand over it and look directly down at it. So there wasn't a bit of an angle to her camera. Because she kept having an issue where her proportions would look weird because she kept taking a picture, and because her camera's at an angle and her picture was on a flat plane, the proportions would change. So that's what she did. Maybe play around with things like that. So, fun stuff, great character, great little action moment, 10 out of 10. Good night, Skywalker. Next up, human intelligence with Benny. Fun. Okay, so, it's from your own world, which is unnamed, and the audio comes from Final Fantasy. Dope. What a fun character. Fun little bunny type look with the circus theme. Circus bunny, it was enough to sell me. I think the colors work really well together, but really it's the shape that I'm impressed with. The bigness of the sleeves matched with the thinness of the legs, the ears, this hairstyle complements the shape of the ears really well, because you can't, like, sit here and be like, oh, maybe there's other, like, what's going on here? Like, the ears is what has the importance here. And also, keeping the hair really short like this also helps keep their collar feeling very distinct. This is a great silhouette for this character that we got going on here. The colors is just a nice little extra detail to help, like, flow your eye throughout.
I realise we haven't taken up new martial arts, nor have I ever been one to set much store by appearances.
Simple little detail, just, you know, I've never been one to put much in appearances, seeing how, like, the frills are torn up. Nice little detail, like paying attention to what your audio is saying and how you can present that. Fun stuff. Without having to completely alter your character's design, either. Because it is a character that does look put together, you know, with all this, like, that's going on. So seeing, like, the hems being frayed is a nice way to display what your character is saying.
I realise we haven't taken up new martial arts, nor have I ever been one to set much store by appearances. But I can't help feeling a certain lack of, I don't know, personal development.
Catching the apple, punching the tree and catching a falling apple. This character's a badass. This character is so cool. This character knows they're cool. This character wins every argument, and that was a great way to display that. Like, that simple motion of hitting the tree, catching the apple, without even thinking about it. Clearly they're worried, but they're worried about some other thing, not this apple. That's fun. That's a great way of showing me not only what this character is capable of, but their priorities as well. Great stuff. 10 out of 10. Fantastic. Next up we got JJ with Ariel Lancaster. Alright. Original property called Night Witches, which these two words together immediately got me sold, and I want to know, like, what I want it. If it's your original property, release it already. I want to watch this shit. It's from Radio BBC Archive, Battle of Britain, film 1969. I know, that sounds like a very weird choice. I know why. It's coming from like a radio or something in the scene. So, clearly she's wearing a uniform. I like her a lot. The simple haircut feels very militaristic, but is styled enough to give her a distinct personality. This isn't a fantasy type of character. Like, clearly we're in some sort of fantastical setting, but also this is a military. Like, this is also like their military type of card deal, or some sort of like business type of card. So clearly you've displayed that, and you've displayed it very well. Let's dive in. Yeah, pilot officer, Ariel Lancaster. Hawks, Her Majesty's Air Witch Combat Service. Great. 309th Coven. Cool, Angelica. None of these things make sense to me, but they catch my eye. I want to know. That's the important part. Like, you've presented me these things, and these clearly make sense to you. This is all, like, you thought out this acronym. This all makes sense. This is all important. And theoretically, we would learn these things. And so the fact that you presented me with this stuff in the beginning makes me know if this was like a full show or something, I would be paying attention to learn what these things mean. So this is basically like a very smart way of doing a cheat sheet. You know, not only are you introducing the character, so if I didn't know this world, these things would be important to know. But if I don't know this world, I know these are the important things to know, which is smart. Well done. Silence can speak. 10 out of 10. What an introduction. This shot has been in my mind for months. This is clearly, like, we're introduced, this is some sort of, like, bunking or housing situation for our character, and the first thing we see is the wall, and not much in between. A great way. Simple lighting setup, everything's all cluttered together, it's barely a walkway to begin with, and then you got this stuff all up in her space. Well done. This sets up the idea of this very well. So just because we're in some sort of, like, we're part of the Hawks division and everything, but also that must not be that well off of a division, you know? And then having a bug just hit the light and having the light burn out, nice touch. Really just hammers it home as well. You've shown me before, like, I am well aware, you're amazing at doing environments, and you understand the concept that an environment is just as much a part of the character as the character. And then, fun way to show us magic. So clearly this world has some sort of magical system. What a great moment to not only show us the, like, how, like, torn down and decrepit this place is by having the light go out, but then it's also a great excuse to have her do magic to introduce to us the idea that not only this is a world where magic is a possibility, but this is the type of spell that she is capable of doing. Really smart stuff. Thank you, Wild Pilot. What I like is the use of her broom as a closet. Yeah! Yeah! Alright, and then we come here. Alright, there's just a lot of very important stuff going on. So this, because now I know there's important things to pay attention to, you're showing me this. This is important. And like, so immediately, you've done a good job at presenting to me that this is something I should be paying attention to. And it is. It's a nice little flyer for, like, the division that she's in, I believe. Remember something. I can't read it. If I could, like, blow up my screen bigger, I'd be able to read it better. Alrighty. Sorry, I was just looking at my stream quality. Seems to be going up and down again. If things don't look right on your end, just let me know. So, but I think it's okay. So yeah, great, simple little scene. You've done so much world building without having your character actually say anything, which is fantastic. I've now get a better sense, because I have a better sense of the world around her, I have an understanding of who this character is, and the things she must have gone through in order to get to the point where she's at, and how she is going to move forward from there. 10 out of 10. It's a really great way to present a character. Awesome stuff. I love it. Alright, let's move on. It's time for Harpy with Siren, which is a Splatoon character. I believe they're an Octoling. I'm not super familiar with Splatoon characters. I think they're an Octoling. But I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. Audio is from Donnie from, it's TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Revenge of the, or something? I don't know what the first acronym is. I don't watch all the TMNT stuff, so, but let's dive in. Oh, I should talk about the design. Love the design. The black is a nice touch with the red. Black and red looks good together. We all know this by now. Having the like cut in the eyebrow, that's a thing that's happening. I'm seeing it more and more with character design, but it's a nice one. And I think it matches the world of Splatoon very well, because Splatoon characters tend to have those very small eyebrows, so having it be like cut in the eyebrow feels like a way of interpreting that, but in a slightly different style, which I think is cool. The scars is a fun element. I believe they are scars to like, because this is a kind of simple design, you know? Scars can give a little bit of texture, you know, like scars or freckles is another one that can do it, or beauty marks to some degree. Scars imply that we've gone through some sort of battle, so I love it. Fun stuff. It implies that this character knows what they're doing and how to fight. So let's dive in.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard.
Hold on, let me turn up the volume a little bit, just because it's a little bit quiet. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go. Also, I like the red.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard. This was the last paper store in town.
Or very exaggerated motions, which I love. Going ham, especially when all you're doing is presenting a personality for a character, going really exaggerated with their motions is a great way to like really hammer it home. Especially if you're having a character like this one, who's a bit more eccentric in general, who's more willing to like, because it's one thing to have a character who will like shrink in on themselves or be kind of reserved or something like that. If you have a character who can go all out, push it. Always push it. Go further. Like the motion of this spine, like back and forth, is a lot of fun to see.
Or was it?
Yeah, I literally just said that.
Tap into their security camera.
Oh sure, let me just load my Tap into Every Security Camera in New York app. I'm sorry if that sounded like sarcasm. It wasn't. I am in.
It's a funny line too. I don't know the context from the original clip, but I love it. It's a funny line. It does a great job. Like, I know the personality instantly based off of that. The sarcasm and then the I'm kidding, I am in. Like, well done. Great choice of audio that you've picked, and the emotions, especially when they're tapping into their like laptop or whatever, and it's just their one hand moving. The way you've had it kind of flipping back and forth is a great way to have just the one hand be a part of the character's personality, because they don't emote a lot, and I think that's a part of the character, that their expressions are usually kind of stilted, but their body is big, you know? Does that make sense? So having it be part of the hand is just a lot of fun. You know, when they're sitting there typing on a computer, having their hand go extra is a great way to like push the idea without making their face go further than what the character should have. Awesome. Fun stuff. Alright, we're on to Jazzberry with Mariana? Mariana. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. It comes from Terraria. I've seen Terraria. I don't remember Terraria looking like this. I'm sure it makes sense. I've never played it. It's not a game for me. I'm not really all that into it, but like, I'm sure if you know Terraria, this all makes sense, and I like seeing the more realistic take on it. Another character with heterochromia. I like pointing out heterochromia. I think it's fun. The audio comes from Steven Universe. It's from Sapphire. Great character to pick. I already have an idea of what this personality is going to be like because it's Sapphire. I like the look. It feels a little like it's all one color. Like we're in one color spectrum, which I don't think is bad because the silvers intercut it in a nice way. As I like the little extra details like the blue here, the like lighter purple here. So even though it's all kind of one color, it all does work together with very smartly placed accent colors. We don't need a million different accent colors. What we have has worked very well. Let's dive in. Fun use of the music box and also like snow, like windy snow sound effect. Nice choice, fun stuff. Not everyone played around with sound effects.
She lied to us! She lied about everything!
A fun, very emotional moment. Having a character deliver one line with a lot of emotion is a smart choice, especially for something like this. You showed off her ice powers, which was fun, a great way to do that, but also gave emphasis to the lines she was saying, emphasis to her character and to her personality. So, well done. I like how you had, having a character turn entirely around and like wave a hand sounds easy, but it isn't, especially with as intricate of like hair and dress that you gave the character. Nice detail, and so I'm very impressed. 10 out of 10, I like it a lot. Right, next up, Hopia. Yeah, with, I believe it's pronounced Lodia or Laudia. I am unsure. Tell me which one it is in the comments, okay? She's a D&D character, which you haven't played her yet. Fun. That's fun. I hope you have fun with her. Voiced by yourself and sang by yourself. Fun. Let's get into it. I like the amount of blue. Blue and pink, again, like I mentioned before. Not usually paired together, but I think it works. I like the like collar deal that ties up right here. It's a nice little detail to add some pizzazz up here without like going crazy with the look. Clearly she's supposed to have like just a simple kind of dress, perhaps coming from a bit of royalty or maybe just a bit more well off, but having the like cape deal that ties together right here is a nice interesting element that doesn't feel like it's not, like it would also have a functional purpose, which is a nice touch. Let's dive in.
I don't want to play anymore.
You can do it. After this, you'll have 4 more nights left to finish.
I know, but I just want to get this done. Stay out of my office.
Fun. Fun use. Fascinating decision to have it be a concept of her playing Five Nights at Freddy's, but like in real life. And the idea of being faced with something that is scary and she's met with instead annoyance, and like she this isn't something that bothers her. That's a fun way to display the personality of the character. I love it a lot. Have fun, Twilight Guardian. See you later. See you tomorrow. It's a fun way to display like not only what the character is and isn't afraid of, like a moment where, oh, you're supposed to be scared, but instead it's just like, oh, I just want to be done with this. I also like the friend character, like urging her on, like, we're almost done. It's a fun dynamic we got there, and you've played around with it in a way that's simple but very smart. Well done. I like it a lot. Alright, next up, I believe it's pronounced Iliac. I believe that's that. Synthesis, which is from Steven Universe, which is fun. I don't know. I believe they're a gem, but I would love to know what kind of gem they are. I wish you had said so somewhere in like your other info, because I just find that stuff fascinating. I also don't know where their gem is in their design, but it's fun stuff. The audio comes from Mass Effect 3, which makes the Steven Universe section. Alright, we'll get into it. I like the design. If I had to guess what gem it is, I would say topaz, because it's kind of in that color range, but I also don't think it's topaz, because we've seen topaz before and they don't look like this. So, fun stuff. Because I know Steven Universe, I know the color palette tends to stay in one color range for a reason. I can't think of what gem it would be, though. But I think it's fun. You've cut it up enough with the brown and orange to make it feel fluid. To make it feel like it's not all bundled up together, even though you were stuck with a limited color palette. I don't think he's a gem. I think he is a human or an alien. Well, that's true. That's fun as well. Maybe you're right. If the color palette is still an interesting choice, but if it is a human or some kind of alien, then I wish you would have pushed a little bit further beyond. Maybe like a brighter orange, but I don't know if it's necessary. Let's just get into it.
Those who share my purpose
Hold on. Let me turn up the volume for you guys.
Those who do not become casualties.
Nothing in our fight against the Reapers has been that cut and dried.
Okay, so I'm okay. I like the audio you picked. I think it does a great job presenting this character. Hearing that voice Coming out of Steven Universe. For a second there, I was like, whoa. And it's not wrong. Like, it makes sense. I get it. It's just, like, for a second there, I was like, what?
Because you still have
An alien robot invading the gem world. Nice.
your honor intact.
I do.
Stand in the ashes of 1 trillion dead souls and ask the ghosts if honor matters. This silence is your answer.
Great stuff. I have very little to really say, because you've done a great job with both, not only, like, the character, but also how they bounce off of Steven, and how you've done Steven's character feels like in line with Steven's character, even though it's from Mass Effect. So, fun stuff. I think it's great. I think the subtle things, like subtle hand movements, and more so Steven's reaction to what they're saying, is the best part at displaying your character's personality. Well done. Seeing the destroyed world around them also really hammers home the idea of what it is they're saying. So, smart stuff, smart choices, fun stuff, fun color palette as well. It's a very different color palette than what Steven usually has, so Steven really pops in it, but it matches the character, which makes more sense. 10 out of 10, love it. Let's go. Alright, this one's from Iron Rogue, and this is Ada. It's from an original thing, and the audio's from Horizon Forbidden West. Nice. Nice design. I like the blue. I like how the blue of their hair is different from the blue in their, like, suit that they're wearing. Also, their hair has a water effect to it, which is very distinct and stands out a lot. I like how the rest of the outfit is a little bit simplistic to help the, like, hair element stand out a lot more. But also, I like how it's simplistic because this world around them is clearly very vibrant. There's clearly a lot going on in this universe. And so, if you want your character to stand out against a busy world, it's sometimes making them go more simplistic, but with certain bright colors here and there, is the best way to do that. So, let's dive in.
This mission, it's my life. It's all I can think about. I have to stay focused. What happens after? I can't imagine that. I wouldn't know where to begin.
Great animation. It's honestly simple. She's just standing there saying, like, something to herself more than anything. But the amount of motion with the character is so good. It's like the shoulders that really gets me. You know, having them look around is great too, but the motion of their shoulders really helps sell it during that one line especially. I like how dark the background is to really help the blue of their look, like, pop, especially the more muted blues of their eyes and the, like, on their face. Nice stuff. 10 out of 10. Did the design for Ada? This is your sister's entry. Nice! Well done! Yeah, great submission. Great amount of emotion. Without having the character be, like, their face doesn't emote too much, but their body emotes a lot, which is awesome. So, well done. I liked it a lot. A lot of good personality was just, and you didn't even use, like, their arms and stuff, because it was a very muted moment, like, with the line. Like, it wouldn't make sense for their arms to be flying around and things. So, being able to display that amount of character with just their head movements and shoulder movements is well done. Awesome stuff. Alright, it's Lily with Caddy. Nice. Katie? Caddy. Unsure. One of those. I believe it's Katie. Not from a franchise. That one... I loved reading this. The audio. That one TikTok about Google's... verification, like, being boring. I loved that. Because I didn't know what this was. So... watching it was just a trip. I like your design. The purple beanie, it really stands out. The rest of it's very, like, having it just be black and gray, I think works. I would recommend maybe putting purple somewhere else in design, like, to, like, balance it out a bit, but I don't think it's necessary. It's clearly a simplistic design for a reason. Because the face is the important part. So keeping the color on the face works. Especially because I think this is just meant to be a casual outfit that they're wearing. Let's dive in.
Doing this for like 10 fucking minutes. Crosswalks. Every fucking where there's a damn crosswalk. Wait 5 minutes to load some more fucking pictures. Oh great, now it's fucking broke. Now it won't give me any more pictures. Is that a crosswalk? Is that a crosswalk? I don't...
Great audio. 10 out of 10 audio. What a great choice. Seeing a character just frustrated, seeing them just at their limit is such a fun way to get like a glimpse into the character. And I don't know what this world is, what the setting would be, but it tells me a lot with how frustrated they are. You know, how a character reacts to the things around them also does a great job not only defining the world around them, but also further emphasizing the impact of the character that we're seeing in the moment, you know? So, let's keep going.
Think so? They're all gone. There's none left. Verify. Here we go again. Traffic lights. Boom, boom, boom. Do you count that as a traffic light? I fucking would. Let's do it. No! More traffic lights! This one! This one! This one! And that little fucker hiding back there in the distance got your fucking ass. Tell me I'm wrong! Motherfucker!
And that little fucker hiding back there in the distance. I like that. It's just like little motions. They're not moving, like they're moving a lot, but they're mostly just pointing at things. And it's awesome. It's also great that you've gone with a design for the character where they're looking away from us, so their arms is where the majority of the emotion is coming from, and I like how you've played around with it. Like having them pointing at things as they're getting angry at it. Fun. It's just a fun little animation.
Bike, 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 bike! Next! Oh my god! Fucking traffic lights! Next! Traffic lights!
Fun stuff. Fun little animation. It's so simple. I love the amount of it. Like how crazy they get. How they get like really close to the camera and just starts yelling about it. It's fun. It's a fun way of doing that. I love the character. I don't know what to say. I also like how you kept them white and kept the world around them like orange and purple, giving them a simplicity with like giving the world like a lot of extra detail and stuff. Fun way of doing that. Fun way of giving the character an emphasis while making the world around them feel busy that builds onto their further frustrations that they have. Alright, Kennedy Lee with Bubblegum Cookie, which comes from Cookie Run. I don't know much about Cookie Run. I know I've seen cookies, and then I've seen people draw the cookies as like hot men. So I don't know much about Cookie Run, but I do know they're all different flavors. A bubblegum cookie sounds interesting to me. Like flavor-wise, like if it was an actual cookie, I'd be into it, but also like, do I chew the bubblegum or do I eat the bubblegum? I like how you've played with bubblegum as not being just pink. People tend to think of bubblegum and they think just solid pink. I like how you've gone with shades of purple in all as well. The rest of the style with their look is nice. I like this with their hair, this little like thing going on here, gives the idea of like blowing a bubblegum without it just being a circle, which is fun. Cute stuff. Original audio, let's go. Yes, the stream is about to be 3 to 4 hours. That's why it has to be part 1 and part 2.
Finally, I can rest.
Nice, like, environment we got here. Having them with, like, I think that's the original cookie from the game. Fun stuff, setting up some character stuff. I like how the sticker on their laptop is the same as the headpiece, like the thing that they got in their hair, their accessory. Also, the trying. The trying cup of many pens. It's a fun little detail that I think we've all been there. I got a cup of many pens next to me. It says Merry Christmas on it. Fun stuff. Fun little moment of wanting to rest, but there's noises happening. It's a great way to display a character, not only like, because I'm sure like they're not tired all the time, but this moment of just annoyance, it's a fun little set piece. I like it a lot. They probably would often be like, oh man, again? It's a fun character. I like how you've done it, and I like how you've decided to present the annoyance that the character goes through. So, fun stuff, and I like giving them the environment helps a lot in that scenario. You could have gone without the environment, like drawing the background, but drawing it in there really helped to like not only give the world more, but also helped hammer home the character lying down because they were tired. Well done. Alright, John with Mist. This was made in Hero Forge, as you can see, which I'm totally fine with. I didn't know you could make characters that look like this in Hero Forge, so I'm impressed with how much is going on here. Black, red, and white all look good together. We all know that. I think the spots is an interesting choice. It makes them distinct. Like, their limbs are easy to spot against each other because of the spot pattern. But I don't know how it would work in motion. It might work, it might not. Maybe if it doesn't work, maybe just like lessen the spots on either their arms or legs, or keep it more centralized on one or the other. But I don't know what Hero Forge is like capable of in those kind of aspects. Of Scales and Fur, which is your own self-published series, which is awesome. Well done. Audio comes from Kill Bill Volume 1. Let's get into it.
So, Oren, any more subordinates for me to kill?
Yeah, a simple one. You've gone with only 2 pictures, technically, which is fine. It's harder to do more emotion with less pictures. But the way you've done it, it does a good job of presenting the confidence and then the threat that you're presenting with the audio and with the scene. I know that you had the limitations of working with Hero Forge specifically, but I thought it was very well done. You did a great job. I would love to see you push it more, but also I know Hero Forge has only limited poses that you could work with. So, I don't know. Maybe you could play around with some more poses somewhere here or there. I think with the limitations that you put on yourself, you've done a lot, and I do like the look of the character, especially when they're standing upright and you see like the whole blacks of the like body for the character. The spots make more sense. So, 10 out of 10, fun stuff. I like what you've done. You were very creative with it. Okay, and now, this is important. Finally, I put this one, Koriko from Kaitai. Kaitai. I put Koriko on here because I wanted to remember that this is the halfway point. So I figured it out. We're about halfway through the whole thing-ish. This is the halfway point. This is why they're on the thumbnail, to remind me. So this is the last one. We're almost done for today, which was great because it's about a 4-hour-long stream. Alrighty, so, it's an OC from a franchise you didn't say, but I don't think it is. So, yeah. What is your audio from? I See You Scary Voice by Voodoo, and I don't know what that is, but let's dive into it. First of all, I like your character. This is haunting. Solid black eyes, especially with the solid black of the shadow of the moon above them. It ties it all together. This is a very good, like, scene right here. I like the amount of green, especially with their like kind of moth-like or owl-like feathers that adorn their head. Very nature sprite feeling. They don't have a franchise. I assume it's from your own original one. His name just means grass, so you've portrayed that very well. Even if I didn't know what his name meant, but just seeing this, like, nature is very apparent. Not only with the color palettes you've gone with, but the way their hair looks like leaves. The way this pattern on their, like, coat thing right here looks like the veins of a leaf. It's very well done. I think the white face is a simple way to display a character that makes them very recognizable. The difficult part is when they have a face like this. This might be a mask, it might not, but with a face like this, they often aren't emotive because of the simplicity of the look. So you gotta push their like body movements a lot more to display personality. Let's dive in. It's not a bad thing, just like an interesting challenge you've set upon yourself, basically. Immediately, I have a sense of something that's going on here. This world, this sort of like bug flower-like world, and the way you've done the glow on the moon is so pretty. It feels like pollen, almost like it's a flower itself, which ties into the nature theme that you're playing in with here. I like this. Okay, alright, here's something. Something people don't talk about is the way characters ride on things. And a witch's broom, there's a specific way characters ride on them. They always sit on them with the broom between their legs, you know, the classic. Having them stand on it this way is a unique way to display the uniqueness of the character. You know, this could have been a skateboard, but it's a broom because it flies. But they're still gonna ride it like a skateboard, so that's cool. That's a unique way of displaying an element for a character. Which is just like how they use a certain item is a fun way to play with that concept. The flow of the wind, nice animation there with the flowy wind stuff. Because you got like quite a few different things going on with their cape, and then their like hair, and their like feather antennae type deal up here. Nice little fluid animation. And nice transition, using the cloud to transition us like closer to their face rather than just cutting straight to it. Nice little touch. I think you could have cut straight to it and it wouldn't have been bad, but the cloud not only like better hammered home the idea that we're flying in the sky next to the clouds, but also was a nice way to like cut your animation. So then it wasn't just a solid cut. So smart stuff. Fun stuff you got going. This fluidity as they fly up into the moon, nice solid fluidity of their flying motion, really nice little details. And then getting up here and standing on top of the broom, like I was saying, the way you use an object, you know, on top of just standing on it like it's a skateboard. Then this, what a badass, what an awesome, cool badass. And then just, I see you. There's a bit of a threat there. I don't know if this is necessarily a good person, or just like a person who's, like it's not a threat, but just a warning. Just who they are. They see all. There's an emphasis to everything that they can do. So, fun stuff. Amazing stuff so far. The first half is over. It was a long one. I knew it was going to be a long one. I didn't think it was going to be that long. Made it to almost 4 whole hours, and that's about half of the submissions. We then got the other half to do tomorrow. So, strap in. We'll have more fun stuff to talk about. For everyone that I talked about already, thank you so much for your submissions. It was awesome. I love seeing everything everyone has gone with. A lot of different unique styles, different properties, all the original works, or the stuff based off of pre-existing stuff. Well done. Fantastic. I'm so impressed with everyone's creativity. The amount of effort everyone put into all of their submissions is so much fun, and you're all so creative and cool people. You should all pat yourselves on the back and feel proud of what you've accomplished. And everyone who we're going to get to in the second half tomorrow, you as well. But we'll get into the details of yours tomorrow. I hope you all had fun today. It was a big one. Big ol' hefty stream. So I hope you had fun. We'll do the second half tomorrow. So I hope I'll see you all then. Strap in for that. And I guess I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.